All right. As usual, will someone check if we are running?
Let's see. Hello, hello.
Not yet. Ah, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear us. There we go.
Perfect. Fantastic. Well, give a couple minutes for people to pop on here. But we are here.
Yeah. Let me just book people in the Malevolent Madness Mixup server. And also in the Invictus. There we go. Demon, I already cuddled you like the whole afternoon.
I'm tagging a couple people, see if we can get anyone else to join us today.
There's Pikachu, hi! And Ako is set. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Pikachu, I gotta tell you, fam. Fantastic work on those illustrations. My God, I devoured them.
We're going to be showing off every single one.
I knew it was going to be good when I saw your name because I remember what you did for me. And I'm like, oh. Like I actually did like not jazz hands, but like wiggly fingers. Like,
heck yeah.
Wiggly fingies.
Oh gosh.
It's a good day. It's a good day. Everyone doing good today? Because like I'm feeling the vibes.
Yeah,
pretty good. It's like cold as all balls, but it's not otherwise.
I envy that.
Here.
Happy.
No, you don't.
Earth Day. It's Earth Day.
Oh, it's Earth Day! Yay!
It's Earth.
Oh, that's right.
It's Earth Day. It's Earth Day.
Boy, I didn't see anything about that this year.
I sure did, but that's because that's my job.
Oh.
I'm seeing if I can convince a couple more people to jump in.
Yeah.
Oh, we might have Scrim today. We might be like special snowflakes.
Gosh, yes.
That would be so exciting.
That would.
Yes, Acklestead. Anna's work is Earth. Anna's job is Earth. She's actually Captain Planet.
That is my job. I work for an environmental nonprofit, so yes, my job is Earth.
Nice.
I spent today doing outreach. Everyone was at events. We were all at events this weekend. It's just, it's a crazy month for me specifically. Yes, been wild.
And tomorrow is a very special day.
Scrim, get in here. It's shush. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Tomorrow is her birthday.
Woo! Yep. Tomorrow is Vam's birthday. Teehee.
Get love done, you idiot.
I already got absolutely art bombed by Kryva. Like, there's nothing. I know. Oh, sweet. And then Charlie's picking a podfic. I don't know how I feel. It's crazy.
Oh, Ackles. Oh, it's Panda. Hi, Panda. Oh my God, I loved your art on Prince Peace.
Oh, Panda's here.
So good.
Yes, it's Panda. Acklestead is Panda. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Oh, happy late birthday.
Oh,
happy late birthday, Panda.
That's
so this is clearly an awesome month for awesome people.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm
gonna
turn this up a little bit. I cannot hear all of you. There we go. Oh man, this is gonna be a wild one today, guys. We got two insane stories.
Absolutely.
We did not do these for full reads because they are too long. That's really the long and the short of it. They're too long. So what we're going to do today, just to give everyone a lay of the land, is we are going to read the summary because we are not reading the entire thing. We are going to be reading excerpts that we have all chosen. After having read these already, we already spoiled ourselves, but that might mean there are spoils for you. So if you have not read these fics yet, be warned, watch out. We will be reading stuff that has spoilers. because all of the good bits are the spoily bits. So just be aware of that. We are going to be looking at the art separately, not fully separately, but I have them on a separate page from the live read page when normally I put them together. So we'll switch back and forth as necessary. We're all going to pick voices like normal, but we're going to go through and do specific scenes that are several minutes in length. Both of these fics will have an hour and a half dedicated to them. Seeing as we have less voices today, we might pull a couple of scenes each if possible. I know choosing is hard, but we're going to do our best. So
that's okay. I think I have already a couple scenes in mind for both ones. So
yeah, same here. I think I have picked a couple of them. So.
Perfect.
Wonderful.
Okay. Scrum, Scram, are you still having problems?
Oh yeah, it's off and on. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna do our best. We're gonna do our best with this one. So we are starting, and someone who understands music, pronounce this for me.
I'll pronounce it because it is Italian.
It's Italian.
I will do the honors.
Oh, what happened to the chat?
I was just gonna say.
Hold on, I gotta fix the chat window. Oh my god, what happened?
Uh-oh.
Hold on, I gotta fix the chat window, guys.
But yeah, I was gonna say, music is one thing. This is literally an Italian term. So yeah.
I mean, music. There's a lot of Italian in music, apparently. So
yes,
when I was yeah, which is like incredible. When I studied music as a kid, I did piano up until I was like 12, and then I promptly forgot everything. I want to start again one day, but anyway, I thought that it would be like translated in other languages, but then I go and I say, no, wait, they're saying allegro, they're saying piano ma non troppo, they're saying this. Wow, okay.
Yep, the Italian, occasional German and French, but mostly it's in Italian.
It's pretty amazing, honestly.
Music lessons. Okay, I fixed the screen. We're good now.
Wonderful.
I fixed the screen. It went full chaos mode there for a second. I don't know what happened. And
It's okay. What's life about a little chaos?
And I'm scrolling. All right. So who has anyone said it out loud yet while I was panicking?
So lasciare suonare.
Lasciare suonare.
Nice.
In music, it means to let it ring, sustain, an instruction to allow the sound to continue. Do not damp. Used frequently in harp or guitar music, occasionally in piano or percussion. The right notes are initiated at the right time, but it undergoes a natural decay rather than being dampened at the musician's hand.
Nice. I like that. That's pretty. Don't worry,
Which is
none of us knew how to pronounce it. It's in Italian.
Exactly. Don't worry, lasciare suonare.
Maddie, wait, hello!
Oh, hello, Maddox. Yeah,
we are blessed by the writer.
Yes. Hello.
We have both today. This is fantastic.
Absolutely. Maddox, this was like a delightful experience to read. Let me tell you before we start reviewing it, I loved it.
Devoured it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Do we want to get started? And then we can sing praises? Because we're going to do that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely. So you want to read the summary, and then I can jump straight in with the piece that I want to read, or we can jump straight in the review, however you want.
So we should still pick voices and do it in the live read style we have been doing it. Does everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
So we should pick voices.
I have never done Parker, so I'm down for a Parker.
Yeah, that's
All
fun.
Right.
I love getting everyone to be able to do stuff.
Yeah. I guess I can pick John. I mean, I have a voice for it.
Can someone drop the fic link in the server chat, please?
Oh, sorry, you're right. There we go. Here it is. This is the fic link.
We're all gonna have to scroll to the part that we need to read. That's gonna be our challenge for today. That's what we're gonna figure
Absolutely.
out. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be fine. No, drop it in the server, you goofball.
Oops. Whoopsie daisy.
We're so professional, guys. We are
The
so
professionalism
the
here.
we
best.
are so professional.
There you
I'm
go.
still zooming this in. Okay, perfect. Yes. So we have a Parker. What else do we need here? I don't remember the list.
An
I need
Arthur.
everybody. An Arthur. I'm still good for anything. Is there anything Scrim wants to do in particular? Because Scrim is
Uh,
just now joining us. Do you need the list?
no, I'm looking at it. I am not picky.
Be picky.
This is so cruel. This is scrim abuse right here.
Yeah.
Discrimination.
Whoa!
Oh, that's good.
Good. Oh, I love that.
Don't make me be John
So am I
again.
reading this correctly? That
Mhm.
okay? You can do John. I can do Nolan the King.
No, I said don't make me do John again. I did
Oh,
it
don't make
yesterday,
you do.
and it stressed me.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be John.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna do John. Okay. So we have John and we have Parker. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, the ones in parentheses are minor roles, and we just pick those up as they show up.
Okay. So we still need Arthur, Nolan the King.
I think so, yes. No, Arthur, Noel, and the King, yes. And a minor part with Eddie.
Well, we
And
got those on
I
there.
guess.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, well, okay.
from yours.
There's.
Sorry.
There's also. There's also like a part of Jack from a bar.
Oh, yeah. Those I count as minor roles, and if they pop up, we'll just take them.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Do you want to do the King as well, because they're similar voices?
Would make sense. They are, after all, the same voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I could do
I
the
mean,
King.
it means if we pick certain scenes, you'll be talking to yourself. But
Well,
I think we've all
yeah,
done that at least
think
once
we've all
during
done
these
that.
streams.
Yeah, that's
Oh!
normal.
absolutely. And I mean, that's one of the scenes that I wanted to read, so and there's no problem with that.
I also noted that we needed. I didn't note that we need a narrator because we still need a narrator. I'm bad. I'm a baddie. Look, I'll narrate.
Okay.
can do
I can
narrator.
do narrator.
Oh,
I haven't
there you
done that
go.
in a few days, so
Wait,
yeah.
let's Scrim pick.
Oh yes.
I don't care. I don't care. I will pick up crumbs.
Okay.
Okay. In that case, how about I give you Charlie, if you want to check
Okay.
Charlie.
You
There
can
you
you can get the cruddy New Yorker accent from me.
So good.
Awesome.
Okay, I will pull Arthur if Trin wants to do Parker and narrator, because on the next one, we're not going to make you narrate your own fic. So,
That works.
okay, we all know our roles. Perfect. Love that for us.
Excellent.
This is everything we do, guys. This
Yeah.
is our job. All right. I will just read the summary, and then we will go to the section that Flamia wants first.
Yes.
We good? All right.
Sounds great.
Again, spoilers will begin at this point. Arthur Lester works as a private investigator with his partner Parker Yang in the city of Arkham, having survived the forced transition of society into one where androids have been integrated into every sector of life. However, a case that starts off deceptively straightforward, the rapid disappearance of KY95 musically inclined models, threatens to be more complicated than what it seems. John Doe is a name assigned to android singer, designation J1924, by the owner of Jack's Bar. His purpose is fulfilled, a performer thriving beneath the spotlights. It becomes apparent, however, that he is the target of something bigger and far more sinister. Dun dun dun!
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, where are we
Also, the
going?
moment that my first piece, I think that we can start with is just the beginning, because I loved how the author dropped us immediately into this world, how they introduced the whole world building. It's great. So
Nice.
we can
Okay.
just like give it to Trin immediately.
Sure. How far are we going?
Let me
Until
see.
the asterisk break, or
Yeah, until the asterisk break, I think.
okay, cool. All
Starting
right, here
chapter
we
1.
go.
Let's go.
There were times when Arthur learned to forget. Memories that he dared not dwell on. Thoughts that would better remain off. A little bit closer here. That would remain better off half chewed in the dark crevasses of his dormant mind. It was strange, really, how tempting that reasoning seemed. He leaned against the brick of the alley and let his body falter in reprieve. His arm throbbed, the muscles pliant only in the sense that it would tear him apart if he tried to move. The only witness was the light of the street lamp closest to the opening, a distant tide washing and ebbing from its perch. He stood and prowled in wait and did not know for what. Safe to say, he was restless. The apartment opposite had most of the lights turned off, but not all. The rats scrabbled and clawed beneath the foundations, so dangerously close he swore he could hear them. He imagined it so vividly, a writhing mass of shrunken appendages against a prison of asphalt and tar, suffocating and gnawing and consuming even as it died in throbs. Every fortnight, a clockwork. The pipes pumped clean with killing agents. Inevitably, it didn't matter. That incessant sound would start up soon again anyway. He breathed. His lungs itched, welcoming the perforating burn of ash. He crushed Parker's cigarette beneath his sole. It spluttered out, an ashen cough. The pink sky was alien. His own body was alien to him. His fingers still twitched. Hearing that same song, wanting to play, needing to. The wistfulness made him dizzy with the ache of it. The bitterness subsumed that hurt. He had made himself anew of the fragments, but that metaphor stuck. Arthur, more a child's canvas of mismatched puzzle pieces and scabbed over errors than anything else. The chords of his own creation, his own heartbreak running dilute through his veins like venom. Only this remained. It was dark, and he knew he was hiding within that cloak of night. It was a useless endeavor, an indulgence of that part of himself that longed to shirk away, a blank slate, a fresh one, but never while the old still gripped his bones. He checked the time and hesitated, a wilted stalk in the dredges of his set-aside session of loathing. He knew the tracker was still on, knew that he had kept it on for both Parker's and his own sake. It was funny how elusive that divide really was, straddling that line between tricking himself into believing that he was doing better and the reality that crashed down so thinly in the next. Pulling himself out of the nauseating, encompassing grip of alcohol was one thing. Staying painfully, incessantly awake was another. It would have been her birthday. It would be his soon, too. Arthur drowned on a shuddering breath and wiped the tears he did not deserve to shed from his eyes. He went home. On the way back, he met the eye of another, the only passerby in the dangerous, lonely night. Motions as clean as his, social cues barely imperceptible from any other, he would wager. Slipped beneath clothing, a false wolf beneath false sheepskin with wiring enough to expose both once the threads of the cloth frayed enough. Human skin, friendly eyes, but a customer service smile. Too forced, almost too eager. It peered at him and then through him, but Arthur knew it already would have logged his name and credentials as soon as the sensors pinged him on the street. It wore the blue of the government's all-seeing eye. Arthur wondered what being plastic would feel like.
Nice.
I love this fic.
Nice.
It is so meaty.
I know, right? And in one single part, in this one single little piece, it manages to encase both Arthur's state of mind, the state of the city, and pretty much where we stand in terms of society and, you know, everything.
even dare I say ACAB right away.
Yeah.
You know?
Sorry, that's just the truth.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is so rich. This is like something you have to sip. It's so good.
It's so good, indeed. Hey, so hey, yes, Panda, what's up?
Hey, hey.
We all await with bated breath for your question.
Everybody stares at the chat. Yep.
All right, so this is one of my free fics I haven't read yet, and I was like, yeah, it'll be fine. I'm fine with spoilers, but yo, I can't spoiler this for myself.
Oh, fair
Yeah, I mean,
enough.
it's fair
I
enough.
think
It's a
you'll
pretty
enjoy
good
this
one.
one even spoiled. But yeah,
Okay.
do whatever you need to do. But
Come
this
back
is like
around 8:30.
rereadable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
This is
absolutely.
rereadable. It's so good.
it's
Hmm.
true.
Yeah,
I'm
join us
just
back around 8:30 when you were doing your fan fiction, or better, Train's fan fiction with your art.
yes.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I will say that was I got to the end and I was like there was so much, and not
Oh
from a word
yeah.
count perspective, but just like the depth of the imagery, that I felt like half of
Hmm.
it was reading poetry, and the thing with reading poetry is you have to read it several times to really start to get all of the nuance of it. And so I feel like this is
Mm-hmm.
one that you have to read once, like all the way through. You got to do the fan fiction thing. And you're like zoom, and you just read it, and then you have to go back later and take it in parts and like,
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
This did something that Maddock is one of my absolute favorite things about well-written pieces. The rhythm of the sentences is perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way it lilts. The whole thing lilts.
Yeah, it's like a well-written song, honestly, which fits into the musical theme of the whole thing as well.
It
So well
does.
done.
Yep. Yep.
And
Absolutely.
I just realized one thing. At the beginning of this chapter, Arthur refers to a wilted stalk and spoilers, but towards the end of the story, John, and from at least we see from John's point of view, talks about seeing a wilted stalk on the pavement, picking
Mm.
it up and putting it back into a bush, even knowing that it's
Oh.
going to die, and but it's still I still wants it to be there to be pretty, and it's such a connection to the beginning of the story and to what Arthur means to him, and I just realized that I'm ah so good.
That's wild. I didn't pick that up. Like I said, for me there was so much that I just felt a little bewildered, just reading it all through. But also I'm kind of basic. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I don't read super long, visually driven stories. Like I was talking to someone the other day about how like I don't read full length Stephen King novels because I'm just like that's just too many words for me. So I can't have full appreciation of this until I go through and read it again.
It's fair. I mean, it's not for everybody, of course, and there's going to be different types of writing for different types of people. There's nothing wrong with that.
I just it all hit me, and there's like colors happening in my brain.
This is like a really like a rich chocolate alcoholic but not too sweet drink that you just kind of want to savor maybe in front of a fireplace. That's what this feels like to me. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's like, sounds have colors. I don't know if it's that kind of thing, but it's like, no, really.
Yeah, with just a drop of ichor to savor the cosmic horrors.
Yes, the horrors.
Mm.
Tasty. Do we want to keep rolling? I think we would be remiss, personally, if we did not do the whole scene that the art is in. So, like,
Oh,
we'll skip
please,
over the
yes.
art, but read the scene, and then we'll go back and look at all the art.
Yes.
So jumping down to like the large poster out front.
I gotta find it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right above the first piece of art, so we'll find it
Yep.
easily enough.
Yeah,
Here it is.
yeah. So I think we should just start from there. I mean, it's a teensy bit of a longer scene, but it's
It's a
not too bad.
fantastic scene and it's perfect for the art. Okay. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's go.
we're ready?
All right. Yep.
Mhm.
The large poster out front declared the main star of the android-human mix band as the Jolly John Doe. Somehow, the moniker didn't fit. Perhaps it had to do with the fact that the android himself had inexplicably noticed Arthur for some reason, and had been glaring unsubtly for the remaining length of the performance. Arthur wondered if Jack had let slip something, offhandedly mentioned their arrival. Or perhaps it was just Arthur that John found an issue with. Resisting the self-conscious urge to check his appearance for any faults, Arthur feigned ignorance. Once the songs had inevitably drawn to an end, Arthur found himself idly watching Parker engage in an intense conversation with Jack. The older man, beard grizzled with gray and skin tinged red, appeared to be in the midst of a furious explanation. In between them, the latest hire continued to slink at the bar. The poor kid looked like he was desperately second-guessing every minute of his life. By the way, that line made me laugh out loud in front of people.
Been there.
To his mortification, Arthur didn't notice he'd acquired company in between these thoughts, not until it was too late. He turned back to swallow up the last drops of his drink, only to realize the android, John, he recalled, was sitting casually next to him. The posture was lax, unbothered, as if without a care in the world. The approach had been virtually silent, not even alerting Arthur to the proximity until it was practically too late. Unblinking eyes shone back, a facsimile of curated curiosity and interest. Arthur's throat was dry. Saying nothing, he reached for his glass. Unease prickled sweat on his palms. Even in the low light of the bar, John could not pass as human, not like some of the newer models could. John seemed perfectly at ease, decked out in full, elaborate costume, graceful underneath the strain of the weight of careful, watchful gazes, and despite the slightly derisive glances from a few of the patrons. Closer up, the cavity and the gaps where his eyes should have been yawned open even more dangerously. He would have been empty if not for the startling amber light that acted as the mimicry of lost pupils. The imperfections in the silicon flesh were sewed over neatly, yellow stitches upon stitches, his design reminiscent of a kintsugi teacup. Perhaps the most distinct was the space where synthetic skin tapered off, giving way to a chamber inside, where the chest and neck should have been, components and metal and wires, backlit by incandescent light, threaded across, tangled like a puppet's wires cross. It mimicked the shape of human organs and bones in the approximate places, even if it was anything but. Arthur could see his heart, violently bared, exposed and raw as the fabric of the cloth slid with the motions and pulsed to the beat of the background hum. John's gaze bored into him, a challenge. Finally,
"Your hands."
John said brusquely, his tone bordering on annoyance.
"They're lovely."
Arthur choked on his drink.
What?
The flash of a sneer.
"Don't patronize me."
Without regard, the android reached out. Surprisingly warm and firm fingers entwined around Arthur's right wrist and pulled closer. His pulse fluttered, a trapped bird, raucous and thunderous in his veins.
Okay, I have to scroll past. It's actually not loading for me, which I guess is lucky in this instance.
Not for me either, curiously enough. That's right, we will enjoy it.
Second
It was
piece.
loading earlier, so I don't know what happened.
Well, the second piece is loaded, so we'll just have to keep seeing. We'll see what happens.
Arthur jolted at the touch, stunned for a moment before the fight instinct kicked in, and he recoiled. He felt electric for a split second before the sensation dissipated. He yanked his hand back.
I have a gun.
He warned.
"And I have a very expensive price check attached to my continued well-being."
John dismissed.
"You, on the other hand, only have the expression of someone not to fuck with, but pathetically so."
Arthur gaped. John sighed.
"Your hands."
He said in frustration.
"You have a musician's hands. Do you play?"
An uncomfortable chord struck, and Arthur's tone grew colder.
Why should that matter to you?
"That's not a no. Yes, then."
John observed.
That is none of your business.
"The arts are my business."
But I'm not.
"Come now.
John said, a smile with too many teeth.
Can the person socialize?"
But you're not.
Arthur said.
Not human.
The penny landed. The others may tread in careful circles around John, all too eager to maintain their tumultuous pace, but Arthur has no such qualms. The smile dropped. John's expression darkened.
And I take that as a compliment.
He growled and raged all of a sudden.
An upgrade, an improvement. I am better than you in every way imaginable. You are nothing
John seethed.
compared to me. You are a messy, weak human. Nothing but the soil I grind beneath my teeth. My feet, sorry. Not my teeth, god damn it.
Either one works,
the soil
really.
I grind. I fucked that up.
Right.
Nothing but the soil I grind beneath my feet.
So they do take you out for walks sometimes. I had wondered.
Arthur said lightly, victorious in the knowledge he had found the precise spot to dig his fingers in and rip.
Like a pet. Isn't that right, Mr. Jolly John Doe?
The rage crescendoed. Arthur honestly wouldn't have been surprised if John went ballistic. Instead, the android exhaled and slammed his palms against the table.
I will fucking ruin you.
He promised lowly, and then stormed off. Wow, what'd you do to piss him off? Parker joined him at the table.
I existed.
Arthur said dryly. He changed the topic.
Found anything?
Yeah, a couple of things, Parker said thoughtfully. The cleaning staff was changed regularly. The next-door neighbor's been poking his nose into places where it shouldn't belong, and the cameras are having certain difficulties. According to Jack, the android that went missing was the backup for John, actually. Last seen in the evening, around 6.
Same model.
Arthur checked. Close. 3 variations apart. Jack got them both around the same time, so appearance-wise, pretty darn close. That one didn't come out as much. Far worse personality, apparently, Arthur said skeptically.
And Jack is certain that John's next?
He's mighty worried about John, for one. Said he'd been acting off. And a couple days ago, before the theft, this well-dressed suit came to pay for John. Of course, Jack didn't want to see his main source of revenue go. Too fond. John made his stance abundantly clear.
Then there's partial motive.
Now all that's left is to wait for the crime. We're doing things backwards, Artie.
We keep an eye on John.
Arthur agreed. Then,
The others that were taken. Any word?
so far, nothing other than what I've already shared.
And our friend down at the station. What does he think?
Petty crime. Pretty insignificant as far as he cares. I think they've all but washed their hands clean already. That made things infinitely easier. The case would be close to free rein as long as they stayed under the radar. Arthur's gaze followed a blur in the distance. John had quietly disappeared through the back door. He gave it a few seconds before he stood to follow.
Page break!
Nice. Page break.
Page break!
Nice.
Yeah, so this scene is... It's such a good, like, first meeting in that we know how bad these two are sometimes at, like,
Two piss
acting
babies.
like people.
Yeah.
2 absolute piss babies.
Yeah, absolutely.
It cracks me up that John thought he was being friendly, but apparently he's got resting bitch face, and Arthur is just like ready for a fight. So if you are there, he's like, "I bite you."
Totally normal to just grab a dude as a friendly gesture. Totally
John
normal.
was like, "I was
What?
totally friendly," and Arthur's like, "You're over here. You're not a person." Like, oh my word, that escalated quickly.
Yeah, that was actually my same thought. Like when I read further on that John was that's where being friendly got me. Dude, you grabbed that guy's hand.
You didn't even know
I
him.
didn't hurt it or anything. Friendly.
Oh my god, so funny.
Yeah, I could have snapped his wrist, I guess.
Oh, dude. I mean, you know, it is an escalation, for sure.
Okay.
I wanna I do want to I want to jump over and kind of look at the art for all this because
Yes.
it's really amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna jump the screen. Give me a second. I gotta get things open. We're gonna have to do these one at a time. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, no. I think I think I have them two at a time. I do. Yes. Okay, it covers the chat, but it's fine. So here's the first 2 pages, and it's a 6-page comic that was made for this. That is this whole scene, and it's just, I mean, the limited palette ends me, number 1. But it's so faithful to the scene as well. It's just, I don't know. I have a lot of feelings. I'm gonna give everyone a second to look at it and just appreciate it.
It's fantastic. I feel like I'm watching an anime, honestly, and it's great. It's like I'm watching an episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, especially with John's costume.
The shading is just so good. I mean, I love the line that Arthur could see his heart because I'm in hello symbolism, and you nailed it, Pikachu. Like, just, yeah.
Absolutely. And I love how the heart has a little like symbol of a power button. It's actually pretty good detail, pretty nice detail. It's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Arthur's so cute. He's so cute. I can't get over it. He's so
I mean, you
special.
know he is.
This style is so fantastic.
The lighting absolutely slays me. I think Pikachu really killed this one. It's great.
Yeah.
And I can't get over John's costume, honestly. It's so... it's like a maw is trying to swallow him, and I love that symbolism.
Oh,
Is it wrong if I say it's so gender, but it just is?
So
Like,
It
I'm
is
switching this to the
100%.
next 2 images. These are 3 and 4 put together. Yes.
This progression to, oh my god.
It's got piano energy just in like the slices too, which is great.
Yeah, I think it's also the shape of the panels.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it does. It has the same energy that Trin was saying about the story itself, about the lilting of the sentences. This feels like a jazz song.
yes, yes.
Feel you on that.
Fantastic.
And
Really,
the
really good
poster,
job.
the poster. You made a poster and then put it inside
Yes.
the piece. Like, I just can't. Do you have the poster separately somewhere, like the file for it? Or did you just, like, I just need to know. I just want the poster. Like, it's so
I know.
great.
With that goofy smile, isn't it great?
It's so
I want
cute.
to buy it.
Sparkle ding. You know?
You drew it in the panel. Well, take it out of
That's
the damn panel
amazing.
and give me the rest. No, I'm kidding.
Take my money.
Honestly. Take my money.
Oh my god.
Honestly, I would like even just print this whole page and hang it on my wall. This would be
Right.
amazing
So
to have on my
nice.
wall.
Hold on, I'm swapping to 5 and 6. The anime energy on page 6, so good. I'm like, I can see the electrical spark between them.
Yes. The little zzz when people are at each other's throats. I love that.
Oh my god. And the
And
bitchy.
again, parallels. The pet parallel, beginning and end. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
there are so many clever things in here. I love it.
Yes.
I was gonna say, I like John's bitchy little hand in page 5.
Yeah. I am better than you. Hair flip.
John, just so John, like, try to be friendly in a deeply awkward, totally normal way, get rebuffed, and immediately goes on the attack. Like, just,
Oh yeah.
"Rawr, I'll ruin you." Like, what? You don't even know who I am. What is wrong with you?
You don't even know me.
And speaking of hands, I absolutely love how the symbolism of a last page happening, like Arthur's hand continuing outside of a panel and turning into this monster hand that reaches and tears out at John's symbolic heart. That is
Oh,
chef
yeah.
kiss.
I love that their hair is used to frame them. The darkness between
Yes.
them there in that last panel, then the gold framing around with the backlight. I mean, it's such a great technique.
Yes.
Absolutely. My goodness. No, I really am. I want to eat this art. I want to put it in my mouth.
Normal behavior. Yes, that's what we do here.
We're
Yes.
very normal.
Yes. Oh, look at us picking up on stuff that actually was put in there on purpose. Yeah, we're so good at stuff. Woo!
Mhm.
Okay. We're gonna do. Oh! Sorry, Pika.
See, we're very good
No,
at
no,
picking
no, no.
things
It
up.
wasn't sarcasm. You were totally serious. That was definitely on purpose.
That was definitely on purpose. What are you talking about?
Oh,
Take the
yeah,
compliment. No.
we're so good at picking things.
So you did it, you didn't even know you did it, is the thing. Because you've just got those
You're just that
skills.
much of a master.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the mark of a true artist, honestly. You do things and then people pick it apart and see the symbolic and psychological meaning behind it.
It's true. As with any good artist, you actually don't know all the shit you put in there.
Otherwise, you'd be full of it.
You're so right. All right,
Well done, well done.
There's more art. The last quote chapter of this fic is actually just bonus art, so we're gonna go through all that, but let's do a couple more scenes first and kind of like jump back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm swapping us back to the live read page. All right, who wants to claim the next scene that we do?
I'm trying to find the one that I wanted. I think it's in 6. Hold on, let me scroll a little bit.
Oh, you
The
weren't
one where
ready.
they.
No, sorry, kidding.
I have too many tabs open. There it is. So it's the one where they're facing off with Fry across the desk and Arthur frickin' shoots him.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
John waxes eloquent. I mean, I loved that whole thing.
Oh my god, that was funny as hell. I was like weirdly cringing the whole time, but I was like, oh, this is good. But John, come on, bud. Okay, I gotta find it.
Starts with they were back in the elevator.
Okay.
You said that was
You're doing
chapter
it
6?
Got it.
I think it's 6, yeah.
I found it. It is in 6.
Excellent.
Awesome.
All right. Oh, time for Adam. We got time to shine. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
They were back in the elevator. Arthur had noticed a faint depression in the corner of the panel where all the floor buttons had been lined up. Now he watched as Adam slid the ring off his finger and jammed it into the hole. It twisted smoothly, and then the elevator began to rattle. The panel went dim. It no longer showed the numbers or which floor they were headed to. All that Arthur was aware of was the sensation of ascending.
That's grim.
Oh, that's me? Okay.
Yes. Yes. Surprise. That is you, actually.
Oh, God.
What's Adam?
This is quite the predicament.
Adam commented. He laughed.
Just to break the ice. John, how does it make you feel?
Annoyed.
John said, glaring.
Trapped.
A low chuckle.
Oh, you have no idea.
The elevator ground to a halt.
And there's our stop.
Arthur stayed close to John as they stepped out. They were on a floor where the hallway extended both ways. It was nearly the same layout and design as the one they'd just been on. The same carpet and style of decoration that did its level best to spruce up the place. Adam steered them to the left, leading the way through a large set of double doors. It opened up into a suite.
Ah, fuck.
Adam said, then as if an apology.
Looks like the cleaner hasn't been in here for a while.
There was a large desk at the front. Hemmed in on either side by brick red walls was a wooden space with simplistic tiles. There were no windows, no other exit save for the one that they had entered through. Reluctantly, he took a seat on the old-fashioned armchair while Adam ambled over to the main desk chair. He set the suitcase down and then sat.
I've got some advice for you, kid.
Adam said finally.
This line of work, it needs imagination.
I have one.
Arthur replied tersely.
A big one.
Adam corrected.
Try me.
Adam's eyes bore into him.
There is so much more to this world. If you could even dare to imagine the scale of it, you would know precisely how comparatively insignificant you are. Beyond this world, beyond these stars, there exist places that one could barely imagine. Places with creatures, places with God, all wielding unfathomable power, holding every single life on a little string.
He snapped his fingers, a startling sound.
Snap. Indifferent at best, cruel at worst, and still you'd kiss their feet all the same.
Sounds like a bad bedtime story.
Arthur said.
Nah, but you already knew that, didn't you?
Arthur kept silent. Adam turned on John next.
Now, John, well, you're something rather special. Not quite right if you look too closely. An illusion that just falls apart.
In the alley.
Arthur admitted softly.
I thought I saw. I thought I.
Don't think about it too hard, Arthur.
Adam said genuinely.
Don't want you to blow your brain up all over my desk.
Arthur breathed.
What?
John burst out.
Look, I'm not unreasonable. You want to have even a slim chance of surviving?
Adam turned to Arthur.
Leave him. Leave your golden friend. After all, and I understand, Arthur, it's just a job.
Arthur?
John warned, panicking.
That would be easier.
Arthur agreed at last. John went cold. Arthur hooked a thumb under the hem of his glove.
But I don't like people telling me what to do.
Adam sighed. He shook his head, tangibly disappointed.
Kid,
Bang! A yell and a clatter.
Arthur, your arm.
John's voice soared in pitch and volume.
It's made of black metal. You've taken the glove off and you shot him at and you shot him at sorry. And you shot at him with it. He's hit in the shoulder and
Go! Go!
The split second that Arthur had bought was enough time for John and Arthur to book it back out of the suite.
Lovely narration, John.
Arthur panted, skidding down the hallway.
But save it for later.
There was debris further up on the opposite side of the hallway. Arthur had not noticed it earlier, but it was obvious now that the distance had shrunk. The carpet was torn, in shredded patches even, and a cart was turned over on its side, the cleaning supplies spilled out and strewn. John jumped over a cracked disinfectant bottle.
I think that's me. Okay.
Mhm.
Check the rooms.
down the hall. There's a stairway.
Arthur stopped short.
John, it's blocked.
He was right. The metal grill that firmly locked the landing just below was buried in rubble neck deep up to that spot. John tried desperately to figure another way out, but then he froze.
Arthur, something is moving inside. The dust is shifting like a tide. Spindly limbs crawling out of a mass. It's some sort of creature. It's hideous. Its bulbous, bloated body is writhing, polyp-like rows swiveling through the air. I think it heard us. Its eyes, Arthur. Intellect shines like a trapped, vicious light from within. It's looking at us.
There were fireworks behind Arthur's eyes. He didn't dare look for long.
Shut up, John, and fucking run.
Up ahead, in the direction they'd just come from, came the sound of footsteps. Adam.
There are double doors ahead. The glass ones. It looks like a conference room.
Won't make it in time.
Arthur said grimly. He shot again, this time at the lock on the nearest door. There was a harsh crack as wood splintered, and then it gave way. The room inside was dim. It looked to be an average-sized storage room, with shelves lining the adjacent corners. It was a dead end. It would have to do.
Help me push things in front of it.
Arthur grunted. John did. He heaved the boxes as a barricade, hearing the things inside cascade and roll. It sounded like metal parts. Outside, there was the chorus of multiple shots from a gun being fired, and then an awful scuttling hiss that sounded far too inhuman to be of the world. Only once John was satisfied with his handiwork, as hurried and last-ditch as the barrier was, did he stop.
Let them fight it out.
Arthur said, suddenly exhausted.
It'll buy us some time.
There was a loud mechanical clicking noise as his wrist popped back into place.
Arthur,
John said.
your arm.
Lost it a couple of years back, during a case. This one is a prosthetic.
Arthur said tightly.
Nearly would have died, too, if not for Parker.
You put a gun in your arm.
It's just one of those, like, yes, of course he did. I mean,
yeah.
That's right.
It's sort of like, well, yeah, duh. What else was I going to put in there?
yeah, I know. It's free real estate.
Oh, my God.
He just went full Kentaro Miura berserk.
I'm not going to lie. I would put a gun in my arm. Like,
Right?
come on.
Yeah.
Or at least like a cool blade, like Pacific Rimmet, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
At the very least, a
Maybe a little
taser,
poison vial.
Oh my God, that'd be so funny. How much longer in this scene? There is quite a bit in this scene. Do we want to keep going or pause there?
Totally up to you guys. I'm good either way. I'm having a blast. So.
Yeah, we'll
I
go
think
a
we
bit
can-
further.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Only 6 shots, 4 more left.
John hesitated.
Can I see?
To John's surprise, Arthur relented. Perhaps the adrenaline was affecting him. John knew it would be warm to the touch. Unsurprising, given that it had just been used to fire out 2 projectiles at a high speed. Arthur's fingers coiled and reacted to the brush of John's own. It was a lightweight metal, black and reflective, and the inside of the arm was exposed, the sleek barrel running through where the radius and ulno would have been. The wrist could be dislocated at a vertical angle to allow him a clearer shot to fire. The arm's interior pulsed with soft amber light, and John, unbidden, thought of the golden glow of his own exposed heart.
Careful.
Arthur warned.
Does it hurt?
I don't think I ever really stopped feeling it.
He admitted.
I don't know what that feels like.
John confessed.
Pain.
I know.
Arthur said.
I didn't expect you to.
John sat next to him.
Earlier,
He said.
when you were given the chance to leave without me, why didn't you?
John,
Arthur said.
don't ask ridiculous questions. I think we have to focus more on what's at stake. Adam was telling the truth. About the creatures. I hesitate to think of these gods, but
He also said you already knew.
it's strange.
Arthur mused.
But somehow, it felt like that sign from Eddie's apartment was familiar to me, even before that, and in the alley. The first night at the bar when you came up. I followed you out, and I remember seeing you, and then something else, but when I tried to describe it, or even reason it to myself, it's gone from my mind, slipping away like sand.
Maybe it's your brain's way of protecting you from exploding.
John suggested.
Yes, thank you for reminding me of that.
Arthur replied sarcastically.
I'm serious.
Arthur halted.
Can you hear that?
He asked abruptly. John was silent.
I think the shooting has stopped.
The creature?
I can still hear it, but there's more now. It sounds worse. The rustling and wet scuttling is louder, more layered.
Clanging sound rang out, muffled through the walls. The familiar clatter of doors sliding shut. Realization was a lightning bolt, and Arthur's face drained of color.
Where am I? Oh, the ring. If the elevator's gone, or we can't operate it without the ring, then...
We're stuck?
John said in disbelief. If the creature was still there, or creatures, but Adam had left. Arthur paced.
I didn't see any windows at all on this floor, and I doubt that this whole floor is officially mapped on the hotel, especially if the cult was using it for this long for their own nefarious purposes.
No. Surely there has to be another way out.
John said adamantly. Arthur scanned the room. He frowned.
I wonder...
He pushed aside a stack at the corner that had concealed everything except for a slightly visible metal frame, a quarter way up on the wall.
It's a laundry chute,
He said.
It's not that big.
John said uneasily.
But do you think we could fit through?
Barely.
The lid squeaked open as Arthur pulled it open.
The barricade we put up won't hold long,
He cautioned.
This might be our best bet.
You might be able to squish in your human self, but I can't.
Arthur exhaled.
It'll work.
You can't make that promise.
All I can do is damn well try.
Arthur said.
I meant what I said. I'm not leaving you, John, so you're just going to have to go in first.
If I get stuck...
So will I.
Arthur promised.
Fine.
John said.
All right. But I don't like it.
John climbed inside. It was a rough squeeze. If he was human, he felt certain he would have been claustrophobic. As it were, he found himself swearing never to repeat the experience ever again in his extensive lifespan. He took tremendous effort to force himself to let go. He fell. Do we want to pause? Keep going?
I think we can...
It's a good point to,
It is. Well, we have another half hour with this story. So if we want to do
and
more
there was
scenes,
only one laundry chute.
and there was only one laundry.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Does someone have another one that is pressing upon their heart that they want to share?
I do, but I would also like, if Scrim has read this one, I would like to let them choose.
I did not do my homework.
Okay.
It's okay. You were a sudden entry, so you're just getting spoilers like other people in the chat. So,
All right. In that case, since we only have like half an hour left, I will go straight towards the end and go for the scene, unless somebody else wants to read one that is before that. Straight for the scene in which John is facing off the Yellow King. Spoilers.
okay.
So is that the final chapter then?
Let's save that one for last. I have a short one that I want in between, if possible.
Good.
Okay.
All right, go.
Great. I believe it's in chapter 4. I'm sorry to everyone. I'm going to have to do this at the top and jump things around. Yes, chapter 4. It's just a bickering scene, and I just think it's funny because it's so them that I just really want to do it.
Yeah, let's go.
It's at least it's more than halfway down. It's right near the end of Arthur had left a note, and it's when John like sneaks in. It's just funny. I just think
the
scene is
window.
funny.
Okay, so
Yeah, I just think it's great.
let's see.
But yeah, it's right near the end of chapter 4.
Starting it at left a note for Parker?
Yes.
All right.
There it is. Found it.
Hold on, I gotta find it. Left a note for Parker, you said?
Yeah.
Is this at the start of the thing, or?
End of chapter 4.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
Awesome.
Right. Okay. Arthur had left a note for Parker. When he returned to the office, he found the door was still locked. It had been undisturbed from the time he'd gone out. The worry was back, settling into his gut, but he strained against it. He checked the log of messages on his phone again. Nothing new. His fingers pattered against the desk in idle rhythm. He leaned against it, turning to give a cursory glance, scanning the names on documents. He tried to thread the facts in his mind to resemble any semblance of sense, puzzle pieces to form a complete picture. There were missing strings, patches. If it had been the work of a cult, then it didn't make sense why they would go after simple Seth. What? Musical models of androids were hardly the top of the hierarchical chain. It was a strange thought, but he did wonder if they were assembling something suited to the purpose of a choir. Or were they looking for something else? Arthur suspected. Upstairs in the bathroom, he splashed water on his face. It was cold, pouring out of the rattling faucets. He saw himself in the mirror, the outline blurred amidst an unscrubbed reflection. He felt like he existed through stitches in space and time, occasionally. This was one of those moments. He pondered his next course of action. He froze. There was someone else on the second floor. The floorboard next to the stairwell window squeaked like a rat caught within a trap. There was the faintest sound of sliding metal, slow and careful. Arthur silently cursed. He'd left his firearm downstairs. He didn't have a choice. He kept his second option open. Arthur crept along the side of the wall, hiding behind the door before exhaling and ducking out. His back was pinned against the wall as he strained his ears for any other sound. Facing the bend in the corner, he finally saw the faint shadow against the ground, muted depression amidst the lighter hue. He inched closer. There was no audible breathing to pick up on, just the slightest rustle of that shadow. His muscles were locked and coiled. He waited as it slinked closer. The second he saw the hint of color, a swish of bright fabric come into view, he sprang. Arthur collided with the intruder and together went down in a tangled mass of limbs. The second thing he registered, as his hand closed in around the throat, was that it met metal and sank into those thrumming hot wires of liquid gold that seemed to flicker the shape of the larynx. His gaze fixed onto John's shocked, irate, sunlight eyes, the same time a force slammed into his midsection. Letting go, he rolled off and pushed himself back upright, wheezing. Arthur tried to catch his breath. On the other end, as if in parallel, John ensured his wires were undamaged.
What the hell was that?
John shrieked at last.
I could ask the same.
Arthur snapped back.
I thought you were an intruder. You could have rang the front door instead of slipping in like a fucking thief through the window.
John looked at him as if he were an idiot.
It was too obvious.
He hissed.
Did you sneak out?
Arthur demanded.
Fuck, John, I am trying to keep you safe. You can't just leave the bar on a whim.
Jack sent me.
John exploded.
I don't know. There are people at the bar looking for me, but Jack lied, all right? They have masks, Arthur. I couldn't see their faces. I think it's a fucking cult from your theory.
What?
Arthur said, shocked.
Fuck you.
John accused.
You did this.
John.
This is your fault.
John.
Arthur said.
Do not join me.
John said, hackles raised.
All right.
Arthur surrendered.
Look, from here we need to figure out a plan.
John looked past Arthur's shoulder.
Where's the other one? Yang?
You mean Parker?
Yes.
He hasn't come back yet.
Arthur said reluctantly.
Since he went to the station. But I'm certain he'll be back any time now.
John absorbed this.
There's glitter from my costume on your face.
He spitefully didn't say. John said intensely.
It's your job. Fix it.
Arthur approached him the way one would do to a wounded prey animal.
All right.
He promised.
We will. This whole scene's so funny.
It's such a classic argument.
Oh my God.
Of course I would get in from a window. Duh.
Duh.
Of course I did. Like, what?
Yeah, Arthur, why would I walk in through the front door, you pleb?
I was being sneaky.
Didn't we just establish I'm not human? Doors are for humans, Arthur.
Windows are for divas.
Exactly.
Diva,
Hair flip.
divine, hey, I see the connection.
Hey,
I mean, it comes from there. Diva comes from divine. So there you go.
you're right.
Hair flip.
Yeah, I just think this one's so
Where did that come
classic.
from?
I don't know.
I mean, I love the energy that I love that John acts all like, well, I am mighty. Yes, I am superior with you, body and mind, blah blah blah. But he has these little moments in which he wants to click the pointer or see Arthur's harm, and it's like it has the same energy as that farming simulator video. Like, can you honk it?
Yes, yes.
It's spoiled rich boy energy.
Yes,
Oh, sorry.
it's so cute.
Ah, so good. Um, so I did pick up another one that I wanted to do that was also short before we like dive into the very ending.
Yeah,
But I
let's go.
also wanted to go to the top of this chapter because this is like hard to live read, but I want to show it anyway. The cool like
Oh yeah, the
computer, the
coding.
coding. It's at part
Oh
of it's at
yeah.
the beginning of chapter 4, and if you really like scrutinize it, you can kind of tell what's happening, which
Oh
is
heck yeah.
fun, and it's real. It's
And
just
the
cool.
fact that part of the thing from the book, The King in Yellow, is in the print like code problem error section.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Direct to the
Absolutely.
old ones. I love that.
It is such an original and effective narrative tool in this context.
Oh yeah, here it
And
is.
there it is.
With the creepy text, yes.
Yep.
Zalgo comes.
And right
Aw.
above it, split equals true, accepted. Like, all right, I see you.
Ah, God. I did not catch that. Good catch.
And then like something is happening in here because in the prior code, it was also like a deleted, like the tampering was erased. So someone
Yeah.
went into the back door, messed with stuff, erased their existence, and then closed it. And that's like also what's happening here, and it's cool. Yeah.
It's amazing, honestly.
Oh, Pika,
Yes.
Delicious.
check the chat. This is funny. I thought
My CS major brain.
I
Is
mean,
this real?
it's well done. It you
It
know,
is.
yeah.
Chad, is
I
this
mean-
real?
Me, me without, I have absolutely no idea of codes or anything, so I would totally be fooled, honestly.
Yeah. It looks good. I mean, it is really, really cool.
I was reading it to myself with my personal computer voice, like enhancing, stuff like that. remove room X, successful, stuff like that.
That's so good.
Would you like to return to the menu?
I
Hero
have
to
been
talk to a
really
real
busy being dead.
Oh my god, just read it. The whole thing in a GLaDOS one. That ends me. Oh, that's so good. But yeah, I wanted to just like highlight this for a second because even though we're not going to read it, it's cool. It's really cool.
You know, the orphan joke lands still.
Wow.
Damn.
Scram.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Here, I feel bad for that. Let me call your parents.
Oh wait.
Ouch.
That's messed up. Okay. This is why we don't invite Scrim to stuff. I'm just saying. No, I'm kidding.
You can't take me anywhere.
Between you and Fish, we can't go anywhere. No family dinners. Can't do it.
Got a fish and a rat on a leash.
Yeah, someone holds a little rat and then someone holds like a fishbowl underneath their arm and they're like, "Hey, we're here at Chili's for dinner."
Yep.
Normal. Okay.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Yes.
What's your favorite dinner food?
Okay. We're on a limited time frame. We are bringing it back in.
Yes.
One other thing I wanted to say that I loved about this, because we've been reading a lot of the like back and forth normal narrative sections, is that there are sections in here that to me read like spoken word poetry. Not necessarily like classical poetry, which we do have a bit in this fic of classic poetry recitation, as you should for a malevolent fic.
Delectable.
But some of them, like spoken word poetry specifically, for me, hits deep because I used to write and read poetry like that, like live. So reading it made me happy, and I kind of want to read this one if possible.
Do it.
Absolutely.
That doesn't bother anyone. Okay, so it's in chapter 9, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, listen, I'm not smart. I'm just a small little vampirism. But at least I think it's 9. Hold on, I'm gonna double check. I'm scrolling annoyingly on the live stream.
I'm scrolling.
But above that, if we want to, there's the little tiny tidbit about the king, which I really thought was cool, because this is just
Ooh,
cool
I love
exposition.
that one. Yeah.
So if we want to do that really quick, and then we'll do my. I just keep picking out little ones that I like.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what we're doing. So go ahead.
Because
right.
Before we actually get to the scene with the king, maybe we should introduce the king. You know?
Yeah, let's set him up.
Let's go.
The king was patient. The calcite walls sprawled. It latched onto the underside of the city above and knew every inch like its own. It existed beyond, below, within, and above all at once. The entanglement had gone far beyond physical geography, no longer confined to the rules of the old world. The city of the king's domain was inhabited with things sightless to the naked eye. The shadows it cast upon the wall, through the quivering wick of a flame, made playthings of the occupants in Arkham. Black, glistening glass gripped the scalp of the shore. It bubbled within the depths. This amalgamation of machinery and other would have once been penned as a divine abomination by men who lacked comprehensions of such things. Those that were sat, contented and arrogant in their beliefs, skirting the edges of this world of which they drew breath within, as if it were foreign and wicked, as if it had not existed beyond the dawn of time and knew the death of the stars at the very end of existence, as if it did not have the right to meddle and interfere and satiate as it saw fit. And the king saw fit indeed.
It just gives me the spookies.
It's great, isn't it?
Say, I have been really enjoying the, my brain decided to immediately forget the word now that I'm about to say it. But where you get a lot of the same sound at the beginning of a series of words.
Oh, are you at glistening glass?
Alliteration, yeah.
I love that.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I noticed that in the very beginning, I think it was, too. There was one line where I was like, oh.
Yeah.
There's just a real sense of which letters you're using, you know, even calcite, walled, sprawled. Like, it fits.
Yes. We got a whole thesaurus in this story, too, and, like, I love that. I love a $10 word, so...
I love me a good $10 word.
Like, this is great. Amalgamation? Like, thank you. I'll eat that. Thank you so much. But yeah, that is our king that will be showing up in a scene soon, which is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, here we are.
Keep thinking about that interview with Ren and Harlan. It's like, he's done whatever the hell he wanted for thousands of years. Like, yep, there he is.
There he is.
And that's why he needs to be smacked around a little.
Yep. Pastors are only acceptable if you make them helpless. That's pretty much it.
You just gotta tenderize it a little bit.
Yep.
Oh my god. Okay, we got 15 minutes. We'll get through. We might run a little bit over on this one, but if we run a little late tonight, like, oh well, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
These are super long. I mean, this fic is what, like almost 40,000 words, and we're just cherry picking out of it. So
Goddamn.
yeah, it was gonna run long. There's really no way around that. I scrolled down to about the middle of the chapter, and I'm pretty sure, like I said, I don't know if I'm wrong, but this has got the energy of yellow in here, so I liked it. But I'm also dumb, so I might be wrong.
Well, okay, let me see. It's not the piece that I was choosing, but I also love that part. So if you want to read it, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Let me see.
Yeah, it was.
We can skip to the one you want or just enjoy this, anything. It's all good.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no wrong spot to read. It's all delicious.
There isn't. I think the plan is, if you don't mind, I'll read this duet part, and then we'll go to the confrontation, and that will probably be what we have time for.
And the confrontation is like right at the beginning of chapter 10, so we won't even have to look too hard for it.
Sweet. Okay. Here we go. Once, the experimentation of a duet. Memory was flimsy, the rosy tint of wanting to remember yourself better, in a kinder light. But no. He was sharp edges and vicious words and a pale fraction of what you are. It chafed at him. How quickly you respond to the cues and direction you're given, learning this curious and nonsensical waltz of catering to others. How positively malleable you must have seemed, in comparison. Tap, tap, tap goes Jack's fingers against the whiskey glass. He is probably the worst of you, given a facsimile of life and 2 legs and the same voice box. You probably held true the same sentiment for him, you suppose. He shouts, "I don't know what you want me to say." Brittle, crackling anger. It makes you go heady with the power of it. This is the closest to kinship you have ever felt. I don't think you understand your place in this world. When he smiles, it's plastic and stretched strings and clumsy spirals. When you do, it's beatific, if only by comparison. He pleads, "Say you remember. Say you remember." No. No? You don't. It loops, loops, loops. He's too winded to stop. Tick-tock goes the clock. How unreal the world is. How distant. Like playthings and puppets and a stage. You latch on to that last one. You perform. Jagged, bright, lightning on a cloud, ozone in your teeth. The music plays on. It extricates its limbs, kicks onto the soft, raw underbelly of the drunken patrons. Such a contrast and complement to the cheer. It grips another by 3 flailing limbs and starts to pull, and chars the other to the quiver of the fireplace. It wields a conductor's stick like knives and teeth, moving in perfect unison as it forces the violin down the throat of the stage, cracked open like a runny egg. The rhythmic slamming of an instrument against the skull. A new crescendo. His melody. Your melody. A lost dream, with the edges of its parchments curling, blackening into soot. But this, too, an experiment. In duet and thought. Perhaps things would have turned out differently if it did. Once.
That is tasty.
It's so good.
It is tasty. It's like painting such an
Delicioso.
amazing picture. And also, hi Charlie, thank you for joining us.
Hello, I am here.
Welcome to the madness.
I made it.
Yeah.
Hello.
This whole thing, I don't know, I fell in love with this because it really, to me, has the cadence of spoken word.
It does.
And it's so tasty.
It's a lyrical prose piece. It's fantastic.
Yes.
Like this goes in the reread. You know, just
Yes.
I want to perform this. Like,
Right?
I mean, I kind of just did,
You should.
but I want to do it again.
The whole fic really reads like just excellent performance piece in general, you know?
Mhm.
So, I don't know. And I feel like it fit with the theme of it as well, given
Yeah.
the characters and the setting and all that other fun stuff. So, I'm also a sucker. We're still talking about the first fic tonight, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, good. Good.
we haven't even had a break yet.
Okay, I was gonna be super embarrassed if I was gonna be like, yeah, you know, and I really love androids, so like that was my big thing that really sold it for me as a setting in general. And then have
Cyberpunk.
people be like, and then have someone be like, we're talking about John Luke. I'm like, well, I don't remember the names of
No.
what he said. So
Yes,
actually-
John Luke the android.
yes. Also, just the designs are so tasty. In
Yeah.
this
They
for
are.
everyone.
Oh, we got to get to more of them still.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they're so tasty. So
Okay.
Absolutely.
We're going to jump to that really quick. We're going to go over to images so I can I pulled up all the bonus
yes,
art
yes,
for,
the last one's one of my favorites.
I have like the sketches.
didn't load for me, so I'm finally going to get to see them.
Yay!
Oh, hell
So
yeah.
these are the people sketches that we have. We
Look
have
at
John
that.
on top, and then Arthur
Look
on
at
the
these
bottom
tasty
left,
boys.
and Parker on the
Yeah.
bottom
I
right.
love this pants. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I said earlier this was so gender, and I
It
double
is
down.
very gender.
You were right.
So
You were
gender.
absolutely
John is
correct.
So
Because
gender
fashion
in
is a
this
gender.
entire fic. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
And you know,
gender
Train,
agender.
Gender
You know,
is a
Train, in
fashion.
another. Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
put on.
And you know, Train, in another fan fiction, in another one of these streams, you said you can't take John out of a king, but you can't take the king out of John, and this is proof. Look at that.
Queen!
Exactly.
Queen!
Like, no, the drama's there. You cannot tell me for 2 seconds that if Arthur have like time and a little bit of extra money that John wouldn't be like, think how he was about the handkerchief.
Oh my god.
Just that. He definitely
Absolutely.
chose that handkerchief, and it was probably golden patterned,
You
and
just
Yes.
bought that.
so upset when it got given away.
We just bought that. Arthur.
Like, he
you gonna get this
absolutely
loser to
picked it out.
sneeze into?
Yeah.
Hey, you just gave it to some loser on the train to just sneeze into? Ugh.
But it's so shiny. No.
Some pleb.
I
Charlie,
still
you're
trust
so
Percy.
quiet again.
Yeah, I am. Sorry, hold on.
Yep. I want to hear your beautiful voice.
Hello.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Sorry, that was a little too loud.
no, I think you're
There we
good.
are.
Okay.
Just like eating your mic. Can you hear me now?
Yes, can you hear me now?
And
Good.
Great
the
art.
little crowns, I just can't get over them. They're so precious.
They
It's
are.
like-
Oh.
What if someone stole Miku's crown, alright? And that's John.
Hell
World is
yeah.
mine.
World is mine!
Yes.
That's a good reference.
Okay. These are hilarious. I find if I open them in a new tab, then I can see them all.
Nice. And then we
Oh
got
my
sweet
gosh.
Arthur.
Are you going to do the
He's so
meme?
cute.
I can't.
I
So
love,
I
I
it's a little
love
too small
Arthur's
for me.
arm. Like, it's so cool in this.
Right?
Okay. Pika, you're funny.
Yeah.
If this works for anybody else, I don't know. But this is the meme one, and it's hilarious in my...
Oh, let me
Oh,
see.
I haven't opened that yet. Yeah, I do have them on here.
Oh.
Hold on, I'm
Yes.
gonna open them up on the stream for everybody else to look at. Let me
This
close
is
this.
great!
Let me open this. And then also to the left of it, I have some of the sketch, the concept sketch, which is cool.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad that they
Beautiful.
included all of that in this because it was such a delight to look at.
Yes.
I'm a big
Oh
fan
my
of
God.
the Knoll one. They're playing the third
The
wheel.
things you do for people.
Yeah.
Right?
Like,
Oh, you're bleeding out from a throat.
fine.
It's fine. No big deal. I'm fine.
I'm
This is
fine.
At least he's not like poor Oscar who was left to bleed out in the woods somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh my
for real.
Oh
god!
god.
We don't even know what happened to him.
It's still
You got it. Oh Lord, they all yell at him.
I mean, he's a werewolf now. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean,
that's
they,
the
there
positive
was
assumption.
there
Like,
was very
Stephen King did that already.
yeah. I don't know if you heard very distinctly. Oh yeah, I loved Silver Bullet though. If you
Me
heard very
too.
distinctly before Gary Busey went completely cuckoo bananas. But like you could hear like in that fic they mentioned there were several other wolves howling. So I mean maybe some of the other werewolves found him and they decided to take pity on him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to choose to believe.
Oscar gets a cute little pack. Perfect. Love that for
Yes.
him. That is
Your
a
name
good
is
choice.
Squishy and you shall be mine.
He's
Flock.
too sweet. He's too sweet
You know,
to just
pack.
abandon at the hospital.
Wait,
Take
why are
him
we
to
talking
Sunday
about the
school.
werewolf fic right now? Stop.
Right,
Stop.
right.
I don't
Stop.
know.
No. Because
yeah, I
was
just
thinking
love
about
the one-
poor third wheels that were bleeding out
Yeah, it's
because these two
But
were
yeah,
making
Parker
out.
there, I love it because it's just like, yeah, you know what? At least something good is happening over here to this idiot, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Man,
All
I'm
right.
so glad. I'm surprised that you know, like I mean, like they really went all out with this robot AU, and it was. Like,
Oh, it's
very
so
happy with
good.
it.
So
It was so good.
Yeah.
I did not have an excerpt prepared because I didn't think I was going to make it in time at all for this, but
That's
I did want
okay.
to still be like,
Tisk,
I love
tisk,
this.
tisk.
Well, I was having a lot of trouble picking a good section, and I didn't know
Tell
what
me
anyone else
about
was
it.
going to talk about.
Excuses,
Same here.
So I was like,
excuses.
I figured
Anna
I'd
will
miss
tell you
out
that
on
is
what.
literally what I was doing earlier. It's like, it's all
Yeah.
good. I don't know. I'll wait to
Yeah.
see what everybody else picks, and then I'll
Yeah.
grab one. Yeah.
And that was the same problem I was kind of having with your fic a little bit. Not gonna lie, there's so many
Oh shit! I
sections I
still
would
haven't
read.
picked.
So
I
God.
just wiggle in my chair.
I was gonna do it like live. I was gonna be like, "Fuck it, we're doing this scene" because I can't pick one.
yes, that's exactly what
Flip
I
a
was going to do
coin.
too. So yeah,
I know which
that
ones
was
I
kind of what I was
want.
going to be doing.
I'm so
Ooh.
proud of you, Flamia. Speaking of the ones that Flamia wants, where
Oh,
in
yes.
chapter 10 is the
Yes.
last scene that we will read?
The very beginning.
The very beginning. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Nini,
I am
nini.
there.
All right.
Yes.
Chapter 10. A kingdom.
Okay,
And I already
here we
prepared like
go.
a voice for.
What?
And I already prepared like a voice for John and one for Hastert. So
Ah!
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Look at you go.
You're so on top of it.
Lamia did all the homework for all of us. All right.
Yeah, we're all just
I
gonna
mean, it's the
copy.
same. I mean, it's the same voice, but with a little more reverb before Hastert. So you tell me
Nice.
if it sounds okay.
You
Excellent.
All right, let's do this. John didn't have tears. He couldn't even fucking cry. All he could do was allow his voice to shatter spectacularly, piercing through the atmosphere as he watched Arthur fall. The empty air mocked him, the space where Arthur had just been. He could still feel the phantom brush of Arthur holding on, and then telling him goodbye, the words echoing through his mind in sync with the sharp ringing. It hammered the knowledge of his own weakness. It inflamed his wounded, broken rage. The tendrils reached him. Still, they hummed that melody, the promise of becoming whole once again. Treacherous and cloying, thick and unspooling, he was finite, and then infinite, limited and vast, cruel and gentle, a dichotomy, invulnerable and weak, a monster in humanoid skin, a humanoid with a monster's memories and acts and thoughts. A fragment, half, a jigsaw piece with the edges sawed wrong. As if sensing his thoughts, the roots coiled possessively around his hands from where he'd fallen to his knees. They had taken Arthur from him. John snarled. He crushed the strands in his palm, his fingers digging like claws into the soft underbelly until all that remained was a fleshy smear.
How small you are.
He sneered at the remains.
How fragile.
The golden cracks across his body were liquid. They would be the lanterns that would learn true agony, the flames cupped within dashing their quivering yellow heads against scorched iron and seared wax, now pliable in his hands, and the shadows burnt into hiding, primal and afraid of the white-hot embrace of the coal-flaked embers that it had spurned. The king's mongrels were receding, recoiling from his wrath that bore the same fingerprints. But it wasn't over.
I will undo you.
He hissed into that incessant frequency.
I will rend you into discordance across every universe, and you will suffer.
The soft, wretched, tinkling laugh of the king draped across his mind like the flutter of an opening curtain.
Bold words, but ultimately worthless. You. One would think you would recognize the sound of your own voice. I am nothing like you. Oh, but you are. Regardless, this little game has drawn to its end, and I am bored. More active means of persuasions are needed, and I promise you, in the end, I will get what I need.
John laughed, ugly.
You need me. Yes. And yet I will never let you win. Oh,
Pitying.
but you already have. No, you don't know how to. So stubborn, so prideful.
A low, drawn chuckle as harsh as the snap of bone.
Not even for your pet? What? I brought him here, to my domain, just like I brought you. Arthur?
Dripping sarcasm.
Oh, is there another that you have decorated yourself with? You.
Bored.
I will unravel him, make ribbons from his flesh, perhaps make him my own personal pet. I can break every bone over and over again, mutilate his fingers and toes while he writhes in agony. I can also break his teeth and ribs, one at a time, and make him feel every tug of his innards. I'll even leave him to rot in the pits. Stop it! Stop it! You know precisely the things I could do, don't you? And I will force you to watch, unless you come back to me willingly.
The biting rasp of voices, indecipherable, incoherent, and ceaseless.
You let him go first. He goes back to Arkham, alive, and then I'll come.
Like a mute delight, the slow hiss of bubbles rising to the surface.
You already know where to go.
The radio station changed, devolving back into static and white noise. John was still glass, brittle and sharp and bleeding on his own vertices. But at least there was that small butterfly of hope. Fragile wings, awful, razor thin, cupped within his aching heart as he made the final descent.
Hell yeah.
Page break.
Excellent.
So gripping! It's so gripping!
So many good callbacks throughout that entire exchange, too.
It's good.
Right?
And of course, the brat's doing it because he's bored.
Well, yeah.
I will unravel him.
Big baby.
Oh yeah,
Cat with a ball of
I'm
yarn.
bored. So is Arthur String Cheese Lester now?
I'm gonna pull a Mr. Fantastic on him. You know, like what happened with with Wanda to Mr. Fantastic. It'll be great. Universal.
I'm
I'm
just
gonna
gonna make
rename
him
him Violet.
Turn him into
Jesus.
spaghetti.
Spaghettification.
Please, you know.
He's gonna be my stress ball.
The kind where you squeeze it and the eyes pop out.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had trouble finishing this on time because I couldn't read it fast. It was too delicious.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I want to savor it. So
Yeah.
I'm lucky you gave me a little bit of a sneak peek with yours, Trin, so that I could like actually get the reading of it done
Oh
in
my
time.
god.
So
Yay!
I know I'm so bad.
You know, it's my fault. I'm on the Suro server, and I just gotta, I go, look, I made a thing. Here's my cutout construction paper. Let's play.
The insane
Yeah,
amount of
no.
snippets I don't let myself read. You are so lucky. How much I love you.
Gee.
So we are out of time for this first fic. We did not read the very ending, if you might note. So if you would like to know what happens and you have not read this, please give it a read. We're going to drop the link back in the chat, please. And
Yes.
give it a read, give it a comment, give it a kudos. We would really love to see more attention to this work. I mean, to all the works in the Malevolent Madness Mixup. But they went hard on this, like really hard.
Yeah, they did.
So
Everybody did amazing work.
yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
give it what you can. So
People
for
broke
now,
their backs over it. That's for sure.
Yeah, they got put in the shin breaker.
Mm-hmm.
the shin breaker. All right, so we are at 8:34. I'm going to swap us to our intermission page. We need to do a little bio break, and then we are going to be starting our second fic of the night, which is going to be Blood and Sand. So
We got some bangers tonight, people, so don't go anywhere.
Yep. So we will
Tune
be
in
back.
next time.
Give ourselves like a good 5-6 minutes. We're gonna try and be back by 40. If we stagger a couple minutes after that, not a big deal, but we're gonna do our best here.
All right.
And
See
then
you
Charlie,
soon.
thank you
See
for
y'all.
posting. Yep.
Yes, of course.
See y'all in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Bye.
See y'all.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. We're good to
Yo.
see you all again
Everybody.
through this digital thing. Before we move on to our next work, I want to switch over to the Black Market Voices link tree. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
Yay.
ooh.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
If you are
Ritual.
coming in for this second half, please be aware that we are Black Market Voices. We are currently a podcasting group. We have been working on Surrogate, the Director's Cut, which is a podfic. And we have been loving it, but hopefully we will be doing some original work soon. So if you would like to know what we have done so far, or keep up with our social medias, see promotions for our next pieces of material, please check out. We are on every single social media known to man.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Basically. The ones that matter. So, that is all I had to say. And now,
Twitter. Sorry.
and
The ones that matter and Twitter, you
And
know.
Twitter.
Sorry.
Yeah.
life.
Don't you mean X?
No, I will
No, I
never
mean
say that.
Twitter.
I will go
Oh.
to my grave saying Twitter.
Don't say Twitter on your grave. That's a waste of good
Musk
headstone.
can bite me, okay?
So welcome.
Oh, don't ask
back,
for that.
everyone. Welcome back. We are reeling it in. We are not talking
Yes.
about that rat bastard
We
today.
are.
Thank
So
you.
excited
Nope.
about this.
All right.
I'm
Well,
so
of course
excited.
you're excited. So, for our second fic of the night, we will be reading excerpts and discussing and showing the art from Blood and Sand, which is by SSJ Trinity. And then we have art by the amazing Trash Panda, aka Trash Panda. And so we will be going through all of those. Before we begin, I will put out my same disclaimer as for the first fic. Spoilers abound. We're going to be
Dun,
reading
dun,
some
dun.
heavy business from here. We might not read the very end. I don't know. Depends on what excerpts everyone's picked, but everyone has picked or is currently picking bits that they want to read. We will all pick voices. We will all read them. So spoilers. This one is really good. I mean, they're all really good, but this one's really good. If you don't want a spoiler and you want to read the whole thing through, I'm not blaming you, but get out of here.
Should we say
Get out.
right now that we're not going to read the ending?
I feel like we shouldn't. I think reading the opening is fair,
I think
but
we
leave
should.
the ending.
Should we
Yeah.
not read the ending? Because
I agree.
because I really love the ending, but that's a thing that I feel like needs
You gotta
to be
earn it.
savored. You have to earn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta earn it. Okay,
You
all
have
right.
to go through the same pain that I had to go through.
Pact made.
Aw,
We will
man.
not read the very ending. So if anyone had that on your list, figure something else out.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
All right.
Can't believe you're going to make me read on my own time.
Oh,
I know, right?
life's rough, buddy. This one's worth it.
It's worth it. There may be a podfic of this one coming in the future. soon.
Oh,
Oh.
maybe. But this one is another one that went over the word count at 35,000 words, which is why we are not doing the whole thing. There is also, I will warn ahead of time, some gore in here.
Oh.
I don't know if we're going to be reading any of those sections, but this is,
You will.
spoilers, like a gladiator story. So it gets a little gross.
We will be reading those sections.
It says major character death. Just
know.
tread lightly. We're doing okay. It's not the worst, but just warning for anyone who is very, very uncomfortable with that. We open on a character death. So, I mean,
Children in peril.
children in peril.
Yes.
Also,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Like-
Not the children.
Child in
The whole-
peril.
Yeah, that's pretty much like the summary of the fic. Essentially, is child in peril. So
Yep.
Child making choices to be in peril, okay? So
Yeah.
that's different.
Oh, so we're blaming the child now, huh?
We're blaming the child now.
Absolutely.
I'm
Anna,
also
what other
yes.
choice did he have?
What other? You're right. I know. I'm
Yep.
not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying I don't. Kid has a bad time.
know.
The fanfic.
I was trying to be dramatic, not scolding.
I'm
What other
delicate,
choice did he
Charlie.
have?
Delicate.
Oh, the delicate little flower.
The only other thing I'm gonna say before we pick voices and get started, I know I'm babbling, is that Trin also
Trin.
has published books.
Yes.
Yes, I am going to plug you everywhere all the time.
Yes.
As you should.
So
As you should.
Trin writes a series called Among the Mythos. It's really good, and what I really loved partially about this fic is that this fic has the energy of the Among the Mythos series. In my
Yes.
personal opinion, Luke just has that main character young adult energy, and it's fantastic.
He's so good and refreshing.
So
to have a
if you
character
like
that.
this, if you end up liking this fic, please go on to Amazon or wherever else they are, but I got mine off Amazon because I'm a bad person, and just get these books because you will not be disappointed. Okay?
And who knows, maybe in the future we'll have something put together with Black Market Voices.
Wait, is that the whole thing?
Perhaps.
I don't think that works, Charlie.
Why did it cut off?
I think that's not right.
Fan read.
Fan read. That looks like a fantasy word. Fan read.
It does.
Maybe don't go to that one.
Don't go to that one.
Right.
Delete
I
that
don't
one.
know.
No, I know what that is.
Can I
Go to
delete
this
that
one.
one?
Yeah, I
Thank
think
you, thank you.
No, I can't delete it from here.
No.
Nope.
Can I even edit it?
Damn.
Man, Twitch, why are you so useless?
Anyway, go to ruthanread.com. Anyway, I will step off my soapbox now. We are going to be reading Blood and Sand. Voices, people.
Like the drink.
Yeah, like the drink.
If nobody has any objections, I would like to read the narrator.
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay.
I got no objections.
All
None.
right,
Go for it.
let's go.
Can
All
I be
right.
John Luke?
You want to be the baby?
I want to be the baby. Yeah.
Baby, yes.
I guess you can take the baby role from me. That's fine.
Oh no,
Sorry, no, I'm kidding.
From you.
It's just saying that I'm furrow. It's fine. I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. I thought you claimed it beforehand. Like
No, I
before
didn't.
joined, I was
So
gonna be like,
screwy.
"Oh, no one could ever take Faro from you. You do baby voice.
Absolutely.
Too well.
That's true. You're right.
Also,
I
my
know,
audio
honestly,
cut.
I straight up thought you were like adjusting your pitch with that. By the way, I didn't realize that was like just your voice.
No, it's not
No, it's
adjusted
just her
at all.
voice.
Yeah, that's insane. That's crazy.
Anna's just baby.
Yeah,
You
I can
just
go way
baby.
up here at any time.
You should see.
Also, my audio cut off for a second there. Who claimed what? I'm sorry.
We're not totally done claiming.
Oh, I want to be narrator.
Yes, and
All
I was thinking
right.
And
John Luke for myself is what I was claiming. So
All
I
right.
don't know who else is in here.
obviously, if
so
you
many
can
It all depends on which scene we read. So
That's true.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm gonna. I mean, I already made the voices for Haster, so I can claim that, I guess. Again.
We're all so
Yeah.
comfortable with the voices we
Absolutely.
do, which I think is fine in its own way.
Yeah.
and then there's also just extraneous voices, like extras that aren't.
Well, I mean,
Yeah. Oh, there's the butcher. The butcher.
Butcher shows up a lot, and depending
The
on the scene,
Butcher?
Oscar is there.
Oscar's in there briefly.
Trin,
If someone
please
wants-
do Oscar again. Please do
If
Oscar
somebody-
again. Please.
I will.
Please.
That's- It's
I
too
love the
fun.
butcher.
Actually, I kind
This
of.
makes me happy.
Who wants to be the butcher?
I
You should
cannot
be the
do
butcher.
that
I know. I
accent.
really want to be the butcher.
I can't.
Then be
do
the
that
butcher. Be the butcher.
There's also Kane in here. Don't forget.
Well, that's
Right.
obviously-
And that's
Briefly.
for Anna, I think.
That is it. 1,000%.
Okay.
And then
I was gonna say, do
Someone
you all want
clearly
me
has
to?
to have his big scene in there, right?
Yeah.
We're going to be reading that because that's great.
Yes.
which scene?
The scene when he yells at you specifically for calling
Oh.
his character John Luke.
Indeed. Yes.
Yes.
Do
Are
you
you
all
trying
want
to
me to
confuse
stay as Arthur? I mean, I'm not the best Arthur, but Dude.
Shush. You can be
Yeah,
Arthur.
pretty good, Arthur.
Yeah,
Mhm.
quiet, you. Unless you don't want to be Arthur.
pretty good's good enough for me. No, it's fine. It's just that's the voice that's left. So unless there's
Yeah.
someone we have not given voices to, is that everybody?
No.
Is that all of us?
Yeah, there's no but at
Yeah.
the very end, so I don't think
Oh
that's
yeah,
an
he's
issue.
never. That's right. He's never showing up. Never mind.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's not showing up.
Nice.
We can just ignore him.
Nobody cares about Nola. It's fine.
All right.
He's in Spain. He's in Spain. It's okay.
Then I
It's
think
fine.
we've got everyone. Same rules as last time. Random voices. Y'all just pick them up. Who cares?
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
someone grab it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Also, I just realized something. This is what happened to Oscar after he was left in the woods with us.
No.
Yes, he got scooped
You
up.
know what? Yeah, sure.
Unfortunate.
I take that canon. Why not?
Just shove the two fics together.
Sure, I can
now. Kiss.
I can incorporate that into my religion.
Yeah. I mean, Oscar gives some backstory as to what happened prior to this, but we could easily just say that that also happened when he was a werewolf too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh,
You are
whatever.
correct, Santa. He has seen some shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're just wasting time, and we
Now,
have
yes,
got a
are
lot
we?
of fic to get through.
All right, let's get
Now
into
let's go.
it.
Let's go. Let's go.
We
Let's go.
getting it. So here we go. Blood and Sand. Who would like to read the summary? Does it matter?
I can go.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Summary.
Go.
When John Luke was 9, Parker stopped writing back. It took a while before Jean-Luc was sure, before he allowed the worry to sliver into his bones and take flavor and color away and leave only trembling cold behind. Parker had never been quiet this long. Something had happened. Jean-Luc wants his brother back. When he learns about a wish offered by a god in exchange for winning some kind of game, he's willing to leave everything behind in pursuit of it. But the Dreamlands are not safe, and the King in Yellow has gone mad. The games are not designed to be survived. Luke has fallen into deep and dangerous waters. Fortunately, he won't be swimming alone.
All right.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
I didn't say, oh my god, guys, I didn't say what the AU and the trope were for the last fic. Obviously,
Yes.
the AU was androids, and that was really obvious. But the
Yes.
trope was forbidden love,
Dun dun.
Perfect.
which I
Dun,
think
dun,
rolls
dun.
through. And then, so that leads me into this one. The trope in AU for this one. It's martial arts / wrestling, but it really just was any like violent singular sport.
Went
And
that way.
and power high. So this
Oh yeah, it is.
really,
And of course, Trin used a child.
and of course Trin used the child. Yes. Mhm.
Yeah. Look, I'm just before we even get really started, I just want to say Jean-Luc is like one of those kid, young adult like story fantasy protagonists that is just one of my favorite types, and it was so refreshing to get to read something like that again. Like
So precious.
it reminded me of like it's like the energy and fun of like Percy Jackson, but without him being an overly precocious and sassy kid. He's just
Yes.
I just want to see him.
He's
I just
so
want to see him do well.
endearing.
I love him so much. He's endearing and not in a like, oh no, my teeth are rotting out of my head because I'm Charlie Bucket and I'm the nicest person in the world. Kind of like endearing, you know. He's just like, I want to give him the world, and he'd probably be like, I don't need all of that, but thank you very much.
But
And I
thank
would
you.
have been
He'd
Thank
like,
you,
be
sir.
really
He
polite
is.
about it. He
he'd
would.
be so polite about it.
Yeah,
He'd be
he's
like,
just
I will
such a good
rend the
boy.
flesh of your enemies from their bones, and he'd be like, oh, you don't need to do that, and I'd be like, but I will.
Panda, we would all die for Luke. Let's be
I
real.
would die.
God,
we would all
I mean,
die for this child.
Yes.
he's had such a hard life with all of the context that he's in. He's like this
Yeah.
Asian child in America in the 1930s.
Yeah, which
And,
I
it-
researched.
Let's be
It's
honest, being an
not
Asian
good.
child today in America is just not great. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, again,
especially back
he's...
then.
Yep, and he had only his brother in the whole world, and the rest of his
Yep.
family is kind of like indifferent to cruel about him. And it's just anyone else slightly less good than this kid, because he's a really good kid, would come out as a worse person, but he comes out
Yeah.
better, and I want to hug him.
Yeah, and you know
Alright.
what? You know what? Fuck you, Parker. How dare you make yourself how dare you take such risks and leave Jean-Luc behind?
Oh
like
my
that?
god.
He
Okay.
How dare you be
okay.
so killable?
Trusted their
Let's-
older
anyways,
sister. Phoebe's the
anyways.
oldest.
Let's save the
Parker is the middle
overall
child.
statement. Oh.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, no, you're
So
right.
he trusted his older sister is what he did.
Well, that was a mistake.
All right, let's leave the overarching feelings about the story until we
That's
get
right.
some of it,
That's right.
maybe?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Save the comments for the question and answer section.
You're right, Graham. Thank you.
I think we should do the opening scene that we started in the
Huh?
summary because, I mean, yeah.
I agree, Panda. I agree.
Okay.
Let's go.
How far down do you want it to be read?
Just let's see.
Should we just do the first chapter?
The illustration, maybe.
That's a
No,
lot.
first chapter's not that long.
It's really not
Okay.
that long, yeah.
So yeah, we could do. I'm just scrolling through, and sorry to everyone who's looking on the screen right now because it looks insane. I'm just scrolling quickly. I'm so
We'll
sorry.
need the little old. We'll need the little old fox man.
Yeah,
to read the
I
whole
say
thing.
we just do all of chapter 1. I think there's not a part
Yes.
that's better
That
to
works.
stop in, honestly.
Perfect. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good way to kind of like set the setting too. So
Classic Trin
Drink 'em.
has to put cover art, but it's gorgeous, so it's fine.
yeah.
Thanks.
And
Brenda.
if you want, Trin could be I can see Trin being the good foxman.
Yeah, I
Yes.
can be a little fox man.
Yes.
go.
All
I
right.
love him. He reminded me of the guy who has the Mogwai in Gremlins.
Oh,
little bit.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely
whole
was
shot
that
gave
vibe.
me- The whole shop gave me that vibe, and I was like, "Oh my
Yep.
gosh, yes, it's
Yep.
perfect."
That is what I was thinking too. My God, Charlie, get out of my brain.
Okay,
Actually,
let's
no,
read
stay
it.
there.
Let's read him.
OMG,
Yes.
twinsies.
Go.
You guys ready?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. When John Luke was 9, Parker stopped writing back. It took a while before John Luke was sure, before he allowed the worry to slither into his bones and take flavor and color away, and leave only trembling cold behind. Parker had never been this quiet this long. Something had happened. Phone calls were expensive, and with what Parker sent every month to their older sister did. Parker going back east anyway. San Francisco was easier, safer. There were more people here like them. John Luke didn't particularly feel like anyone was like him. He had no friends. He had his big brother, and that had always been good enough. But Parker stopped writing back. So, for a solid week, John Luke ran errands, washed windows, subbed for the paperboy. Toby would do anything to get out of work, and scrounged at last enough money to call Yang and Lester PI in Arkham, Massachusetts. The phone rang and rang. They listened because the Parker was dead. The body had been incinerated. They hadn't bothered to contact next of kin because he was a, his husband said, and then used a slur that made Phoebe smack him. They'd sold all his goods at police auction. It was over. Parker was gone, as though he'd never existed, and there was nothing left. John Luke cried a lot. He probably wasn't supposed to. Someone should, though. Shouldn't they? Was there someone else? Adults always had other people, didn't they? He'd peeked into Phoebe's address book, but all she'd had was Parker's name, office address, and office phone number, all of which had been lightly crossed out with a single precise pencil line. That made him cry again. He couldn't even verbalize why. He left her address book open, as if forcing her to see Parker's name could possibly conjure grief from her too, and tried to continue his life. When John Luke was 10, he discovered magic. He hadn't meant to. He'd been in trouble at school again, the kind he always got into by trying to be good. They said he was sullen when he was quiet. They said he was rude when he just struggled to make eye contact. They said he was antisocial when trying to talk to his peers felt like being a bug trying to swim in molasses. He knew about molasses. Phoebe and Parker had been living with their parents in Boston in 1919, and he'd never forgotten the nightmarish description of a spider trapped in that horrible flow, unable to lift its limbs to save itself. So he was in trouble. They made him sit in the corner with a dunce cap on, even though he had the highest grades in class. It was dark by the time he headed home. He'd probably be in trouble for that. Not that he was ever noticed any other time. He could admit it to himself in the crowded, smelly dark of this night. No one would be upset if he didn't come home. If he didn't come home, Phoebe would maybe cross his name out with a light pencil line, and that would be that. Feeling sick, he slowed. John Luke passed irregular street lamps and neon lights proclaiming chop suey and Shanghai Lo. Past the alleys where, he'd been told, the Tong had fought for supremacy only a few years before. And then he stopped. He stopped at the alley leading to the 5 flights of stairs that would take him to Phoebe's apartment. Stopped because he did not want to go home. Home was not here. Home was gone. He missed Parker. Strange sometimes how moments hit, unexpected and unplanned, without any warning for how they changed one's life course. John Luke could not know this was one such moment now. He only knew he could go where he belonged, to disapproval, to cold quiet, to disappointment he'd gotten in trouble, to early bed and, conveniently, no dinner. Or he could walk in the traffic-clogged streets and pretend he was like them and stay out all night long because who was going to stop him? Maybe a cop, but more likely, no one. And that, right now, felt better than going back. So he walked. He walked, head down, hands pocketed, unconcerned for thieves because he had nothing to steal. He walked, crying softly, wishing Parker were here, wishing the police had been wrong. He walked and turned streets at random and tried not to bump into anyone, impossible, and ignored pickpockets and found a neon sign he'd never seen before.
I'm showing the
Change
art.
fortune. Beautiful.
I'm showing the art.
I love the watercolor.
Feast.
Oh,
Feast
yes.
upon it.
The color
The way
is
it leaves
intentional.
frame.
It's
Panda was
beautiful.
brilliant with color in this. Just brilliant.
Yeah.
God.
I'm gonna.
So
blue,
off
this
on
is
that.
the reference image for Luke, by the way, that link I just shared.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm gonna have
So
to click
cute.
it. I can't click
Which
it because
Panda
otherwise
found,
it'll
and it's
change
just
the thing.
Oh yes, baby.
yep.
Baby.
Baby
So
boy.
baby.
Someone put it in the server because I can't change my screen.
I
He's
got
just
it.
a little guy.
He's just a little guy.
There we go. Right here.
Oh, yeah.
He's so baby.
He's so baby.
Look at this child.
Oh,
And yes,
Underfed
Pikachu,
dude.
I absolutely agree. I want to eat this art.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I would like to slurp it up like blueberry.
I am so
No,
excited to
blue
go
is the
off
right
about all of
energy
this.
because it goes with like the
The theme.
It's
the
his magic.
He's
melancholy
feeling
of the
blue.
whole scene. Yeah,
Luke's magic is blue.
No, yeah, it has
Exactly.
that's
to be blue.
true.
It's good.
Oh, and
It
how it
fits
just
the theme.
drains off. Like, ah, so good.
Yes. Like all the way it drips off. There's so many.
Yeah, I
all the
love that.
references have this consistent.
You'll notice that a lot
dripping.
of
Yeah.
Panda's art like breaks the frame, and it's
Yeah.
so
And,
awesome.
It's so tasty and
It's so good.
Format
Ah,
race.
Yeah,
Excellent.
babe, isn't that awesome? Look at it. It's so good.
honestly, I am taking a page out of all these artists because they can teach me
Everyone
so
has-
much.
Everyone has had
Right?
something that has made me go, "Oh, I should use that." Like in something. Like it's so good.
Excellent.
Like I'm like personally, I'm happy with
Achieved.
the illustrations that I have done for this event, and you will see them tomorrow. But I love what other people have done, and
I
I
am
love how they
so-
went out of a box. And I honestly want to like push my own limits as well. That's the kind
I'm
of thing
so
that art does.
upset that I won't be here for the for the live read of that because of
Aw.
work. But I'm going to record my reactions to all of your stuff and read an excerpt, and I will give it to you guys to play if you want tomorrow.
Yes.
So in some way, you'll hear me like slathering about your art in one way or another. I've done it enough already in the server. I'll do it again. But anyways,
Awesome.
yes,
All right, yeah, that's tomorrow. This is today. Let's
that's tomorrow.
keep
Yes.
going.
Yep.
Oh,
Let's
that's
keep
so
going.
good.
Take
You
it away
ready?
for Sprim. Yep.
Alrighty. That was silly. So silly. He knew all of that kind of thing was bullshit. He knew science was real. Math mattered. Magic was lies. There was no such thing as fortune or luck. Change fortune. What good would it do to try anyway? He had no money. Toby got caught outsourcing, and now nobody could take turns for him anymore. It didn't even mean anything. It wouldn't do anything. He couldn't bring Parker back. Not even the old world stories Phoebe's ancient mother-in-law told portrayed that as possible. Change fortune. On the other hand, what harm could it do? John Luke stepped inside the shop. It was a dark, creaky space with creaky floors and creaky fans and creaky something that almost sounded like alien voices. Some kind of insect choir, impossible beings squeaking some kind of song for whatever they thought songworthy. The shop was narrow, one long room, lit only by the front windows, with shelves floor to ceiling on either side, crammed with unlabeled goods wrapped in dust and mystery. And at the far end, behind a glass counter, sat a little old man. A little old man who beckoned him forward. A little old man with pale eyes and lips that did not smile. A little old man who seemed to have fox ears if John Luke didn't look directly, and a fox tail if John Luke looked away.
You,
The old man said.
you look young, healthy. I need help. Can you help me?
John Luke's Mandarin was pretty good, and he understood.
Yes, sir.
The old man tried to stand, winced, a grimace that showed his pointed teeth, and sat again.
time to pay my rent, but I'm injured. Could you take my rent money to the landlord? He lives upstairs. It won't be a terrible journey. This way he won't hound me, and I can recover from my fall in peace. Please help me.
What was John Luke going to say? No? It was obvious the old man, who was human no matter what imagination claimed, needed help. John Luke understood needing help. He took the envelope. He did not open it. Following instructions, he walked around the outside of the building, found the fire escape, climbed it, and knocked on the window of the second floor. It was opened by someone he could not see, a darker shape in darkness, with round frog-like eyes glinting in the gloom. John Luke swallowed and held the envelope out.
From the man downstairs.
Jean-Luc,
Said the darker shape in darkness, and took the envelope with a hand, green, mottled, webbed, that fortunately did not make contact. And John Luke trembled on his way down the stairs, and swallowed bile as he hesitated outside that shower, change, fortune, and finally went inside because rationally this could not be real. What he'd seen up there, and if it was, he had no name for it, but if it was real, then he needed to see where it went. The old man smiled and offered some steaming tea.
what do you want more than anything in all the world?
John Luke did not live in a home or an era in which taking things from strangers was verboten, so he took the warm, fragile teacup and sipped. He didn't know this brew. It was floral, a strange taste, almost dusty, but so good he suddenly had to fight the urge to gulp it down at once.
My brother.
Why had he answered that?
Legit proposition.
Said the old man.
I can't give him back to you.
John Luke's heart ached, as if disappointed. But he couldn't be, because that meant he'd hoped for the impossible.
I know. No one can, sir.
The old man pointed a knobbly, wrinkled finger.
There is one who can. It will cost you. It will take much effort, trial, error, and triumph. But there is one who can. It will cost you. But there is one who can.
The repeat mattered, made this like a vow, and John Luke stood there holding a teacup that was not his, trembling from head to toe, and suddenly knew this was the hinge his life would turn on. There would be a before and an after this choice. But if he could get his brother back, he did not care about the cost.
Please.
He said, and pretended tears weren't leaking down his cheeks, hoping the darkness of the room would hide them. The old man nodded.
Luck, Jean-Luc.
He held his hand out, palm up, and blew on it, right into John Luke's face. And John Luke woke up at home, on Phoebe's spare children's mattress. Beside his head, a pile of ancient, mold-spotted books in various languages waited to be read. Of course, Change Fortune was gone. It was an abandoned laundromat, flooded out, walls and floors ruined by water too thoroughly for anyone to bother renovating it. Mold climbed the walls. He doubted the apartments above were clear of it. He walked around the side of the building and found that the fire escape was rusted off, broken, completely missing from the third floor down. Right. So, it had happened. He knew it had. By kindness to an old man, he'd earned something. A chance, his gut said, which was not a guarantee. It was ludicrous to believe. Insane. Crazy town. John Luke believed, and in hope he would somehow resurrect his brother, he went home and opened the first book.
Oh, that was so good. You know,
What a good grabber.
So
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, this reminds me of two things, Trin. One, a fairy tale with all the mechanism
Yes.
of helping a
Tails,
good.
what we were going for.
Exactly. And the second thing that it reminds me of is a Ghibli movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very much.
Which I mean,
It's
they're
got like
just
that
fairy
Ghibli
tales in
movie
their own way.
energy. It's got that
True.
never-ending story intro with like that, like Page Master, never-ending story, kind of like a boy wanders into a mysterious shop, like a labyrinth kind of thing, and then you turn around and wait, it's gone. What happened? Like, it's got all of the magic hallmarks of the, what was that? There was a movie in the 80s. There are a lot of 80s movies that had all kinds of magic like this, but
Oh yes.
the one where you could like buy a mom from like a traveling mom market or something like that. They wanted to trade in their mom for a cool mom, and when they went through it, the place like vanished when they used up all the last of their tokens, and they tried to go back to get their original mom back, but then it was an abandoned like warehouse, and all the magical
upgrade.
things.
Wait, go back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also,
Yes, exactly.
Of
It was about
like
learning to love what you already had. Essentially, it was the message.
classic
But,
Disney Channel movies.
yeah, a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like very like the good ones from the early 2000s.
Halloween Town,
Yes.
Oh my
Mother's
god.
Dating a
This is like
Vampire, 13th Year, like all those.
yes, this is like my childhood just condensed in one story.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it started out like from Arthur's point of view, and it just didn't work. I
It wasn't-
tried,
Yeah.
and I ended up scrapping like well over 10,000 words. It's like, this is not working. It needs a different
Like,
point of
still-
view.
That is insane.
I still liked it, but it was still like, and like John Luke was so much kind of like meaner and sassier too in that version as well.
And it was hard because it's like, this is not right. It's like, yeah, it's got to be his point of view, which was not the plan because I'm giving my prompts, but
Yeah.
I'm
but
glad I
man,
did.
And then when you switched it, like it just felt like it just was like flowing so fast out of you, and then it was just so. Ugh. So I'm curious. The sound of the mysterious singing that you're hearing in like the shop, is it anything like?
I know what you're referencing.
Yeah.
And it could be. Who
I
knows?
don't.
You know? He didn't recognize it, so hard to say.
Yeah, that movie's not going to be out for another like 40 to 50
Absolutely.
years. Why would he know?
Exactly.
Just saying. It was great though. It's such an interesting beginning. You already love like John Luke. He's so autism coded. My
Oh, he
sweet baby
is.
boy. I just he's got the deck stacked against him. Poor guy.
Yeah.
He's so
Oh,
normal, Core.
Yep.
I love him
Yep.
so much.
Poor little
Of course, I'm gonna
underfed
walk
dude.
into a shop with an old man with absolutely not fox and hairstyles.
Also, was
Yeah,
that
there's
a
like
Kana?
nobody in his life has told him,
Yeah.
to be
Why would he-
careful.
Yeah, they probably hope he gets taken by a stranger so that they can.
Yeah, they're not
Yikes.
careful. And yeah, that's a Kana upstairs. Absolutely.
I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a Kana.
Yeah,
thought so.
I made absolutely sure to get the description right.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I was like, huh, little frog guy. That
Oh.
sounds like a Kana.
Little guy.
Interesting.
Also knew John Luke's
Fun.
name right away. Definitely
Yeah,
not
a
worrisome.
little bit of a test,
Mhm. Yeah, I love that. That has to be tested.
When
to
I-
make sure if he's going to get help, he has to be somebody that's pure of heart and trustworthy and well
Mhm.
inclined to do good deeds. So
He's got to be a good fairy tale
Boy.
character.
yeah, he's got to be a good boy.
Absolutely.
Like, is he willing to do a good thing without promise of reward just because it's needed? Okay, we'll give him a chance.
Ugh.
I've had
Yep.
so many Chinese American friends who also would have been like, well, yeah, also I'm Chinese, so like if an older man comes to me and is like, please, especially an older Chinese person comes to me and is
Yes.
like, oh, you help me, child. It's like, yes,
Yeah,
I
that was
will. And,
actually
like, you just do
important.
it.
It's like it
Yeah.
had to be another Chinese person also speaking
Mhm.
Mandarin, because one of
Yeah.
the things people had to do in that era was they sometimes would attend public school, which wasn't
Mhm.
super friendly, but then they had to go to Chinese school after that,
Yep.
which even lessened what time they had.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah, so it's like it was nice. It was cool. I love you can see the level of research and detail that you put into it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Yeah,
like
I'm
that
a
chapter 2 is
geek.
even shorter. So,
We cannot read the entire thing.
oh, I know.
We
I want us
can.
to. I want us to. Don't get me wrong, but we have
I will
to.
say
we have
this:
to be
the
picky.
tunnel part was hilarious to put in because there
Mhm.
was a rumor that there were these massive secret tunnels under Chinatown, and what people who lived there would actually do is take these stupid white people down, get money from them, and say, "I'll show you the tunnels, the hidden magic tunnels." There was nothing down there, but
Yeah,
it's like
just
that's
come-
a great way to bring the Dreamlands into this. Just
So-
They're just-
Absolutely.
Did y'all hear about the tunnels that were found under? I think it was New York.
Sounds familiar.
It was
doesn't
a bunch of Jewish
one-
people doing
the
their
one
their
that
stuff.
the Orthodox,
Trying to be left alone,
Jewish
yeah.
guys were breaking through the walls too to try and get to the old bathhouse that they used to have.
Yes. Oh, and the
Yeah.
molasses reference. If you
molasses
don't know
was
about the
really good.
molasses flood, that
In
it
1919.
sounds
I do.
funny, but it was horrifying.
Yeah. Bad.
Yep.
From
So
what I
what's
hear,
with
I
apparently
believe
Yanks
it.
and tunnels?
right?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
They like it.
Yeah. Seems really familiar. Just saying.
Also, just gotta say, the streets
Parker, don't
occasionally
go
I've
towards
heard
the light.
still smell very faintly of like brown sugar or maple, like
Yeah.
Oh my
in
god.
Boston when it gets really, really hot. I've heard that.
Oh,
So
that's kind of terrifying.
it was a
I would
really
bring
bad
it.
flood of molasses. So
Ugh. I would bring it right to our Anna and have her read the part with our beloved Kane.
Oh.
Good idea.
Okay.
yes,
What chapter is
we'll hop
that?
right to it. That is
That's
in chapter 3.
3. Yes.
Okay. I'm
Chapter
gonna
3.
just scroll my way down. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Excuse me.
Look for
Okay.
and he was grabbed
Yeah, hold on. I'm getting
in
there.
chapter 3.
And he was grabbed. Okay, is that where we're gonna
Baby
start it
boy.
then?
Poor
Sure.
baby
Yeah.
boy.
It's a good way to start it because that's when the slavers try to grab him. So
Yes.
that's
Hold on,
him. Yeah.
Where is it?
It's
Well,
chapter
look, it's
3,
also on
and
the
he was
screen.
grabbed.
Oh, there he is.
Suddenly
Yeah.
he was grabbed. Yes.
Yes.
We just want to start right there then? At the grabbed?
Yeah, let's do it.
Got it.
All right. And he was grabbed. Jean-Luc shouted. He struggled. He kicked and bit, and a sack went over his head, pulling tight, pressing his hood into his face. And he knew he wasn't suffocating, but he was, and his cries did not escape the sack over his mouth, and the rope around him was so tight it bruised. He screamed, and was suddenly dropped onto the uneven paving stones, getting the breath knocked out of him, and then came sounds. Bad sounds. Worse sounds than threats of slavers, worse than his own pained cries, tearing sounds, and screaming sounds, and popping wet flesh sounds, and they were worse than his fear, worse than nightmares, worse than anything he'd ever heard in his life. Though there was that one time the horse-drawn ice truck had gotten into that horrible accident, and the horses screaming and the smell of blood, there was so much the same as this.
Holy shit.
And then came nothing. Nobody grabbed him. All was silent except for his panicked breathing. What had happened? Where were the slavers, or whoever they had been? He had to get out of this. His knack would only help half of this problem, and he had to get untied. Had to get away from here. Had to,
You might not be worth it if you can't get through a few simple ropes.
said a stranger's voice, a chipper one, and Jean-Luc went stiff as a board in fear. Nothing followed.
Hello?
Jean-Luc managed, voice cracking.
Nope, no good.
Said the voice, and the wet, slightly sticky footsteps circling did not make anything better.
John Luke? No. Just Luke. We already have a John. Are you trying to confuse people?
Yeah, Tran.
Those... He couldn't help imagining bare feet on blood, viscera, and being called the wrong name, which the guy shouldn't have known anyway, did not help. He couldn't breathe. He couldn't get free. He couldn't even form the words "help me" through his tight throat.
Yeah, maybe this was a waste of time.
Said the man as if to himself.
Tell you what, get free in 3 minutes or I kill you, and all your problems will be solved. And go.
He meant it. The man meant it. Jean-Luc, just Luc, knew the man meant it. He lost seconds to terror. Parker wouldn't give up. He never gave up. Jean-Luc, just Luc, actually, he sort of liked it. Thought fast, and used a cauterizing spell to burn through the rope. It hurt. It hurt so badly, but burns were something he could heal, so he just had to hold on until the rope snapped clean through. He was crying as he sat up, burned, scared, but proud of himself regardless. He pulled off the hood and winced to his feet.
Not bad. That was almost entertaining.
Said the man, and there he was, squatted, perched on the neat stone fencing like a gargoyle. Blood dripped from his feet and stained trouser legs. He was a white man, tall and narrow, and his eyes gleamed like bright light on fresh blood. He pointed at just Luke with one finger, skin or something worse sticking out from his fingernails.
I don't know. I don't really like kids, you understand, and you're not that interesting. But he won't think that. No. In fact, I think your goal might just fuck them both up. Create some friction, split their focus. You feel me?
Just Luke stared. He would have replied, manners and self-preservation merging in his head, but he was a little distracted by the environment. It looked like the slavers had exploded. Shreds hung from gas lamps. Chunks clogged gutters. No, they'd exploded after the worst had happened. 6 skins, complete, looking ready to be blown up like balloons into people again, lay draped on either side of the sky on the fence, hands and feet neatly turned the same directions. Nobody was alive. There was no spark to fan back into flame. He would have tried to heal them if there were, no matter how wicked they were, but they were dead. In spite of reason, his throat tightened and his eyes filled.
Ugh. Fucking kids.
Said the man and snapped his fingers.
Focus. I'm saying this once.
Yes, sir.
Just Luke mumbled, because it felt like he had to say something, or he might be skinned too. The man snorted.
No, because now you'd know it was coming, so something else. I'm thinking laminectomy, personally. But anyway, the games are in more.
More?
Said Just Luke in a tiny voice.
Yeah.
The guy shifted, weirdly bird-like, weight moving from barefoot to barefoot on the bloodied fence.
Scene.
There's a caravan leaving from the port at the Naraxa River in 2 hours. Skyship, not like the ones going to Serenian. This is not as nice, but if you buy a ticket, they'll get you into the Eastern Desert. And if you survive the trip and don't get stabbed or infested by something more interesting than you are, or, I don't know, just plain beaten to death, you'll reach the last lonely inn. The butcher goes there.
The butcher?
Said Just Luke, drawn in, held by this guy's animation, his words, his awful, hateful eyes.
He's the guy who picks folks up for the games, Gosling.
Said the guy.
Not the most interesting of denizens, but he serves his purpose. All you have to do is survive the ride.
That smile was pristine, shockingly white against the gristle and gore everywhere else.
I suggest you do it. If you don't, you probably won't see me again, so there's that. But I guarantee you will never get your brother back. You thought running away to the Dreamlands was your big life-changing choice? Oh, no, no, no. This is it.
Just Luke.
Ooh, you are cutting out quite a bit there, Scrim.
Oh, yeah, there it
A
is.
little
I'm
bit,
back
yeah.
now. Yeah.
Oh,
You with us?
Yes. Test.
Scrim?
okay. Hello.
Okay,
There you
now I
are.
hear you.
Okay.
All right.
Hi.
I heard
Start-
just Luke tremble. That was like that's how it
Blah.
Okay. So
Alright.
start that again.
Just Luke trembled.
Why are you telling me? Why did you do this?
He couldn't quite say saved me, because this didn't feel saved,
Bored.
said the man, shifting his weight again.
No little divorces lately, but as anyone can tell you, kids are great at causing divorces. Capiche?
Wow.
Just Luke did not capiche. I sighed.
This is what I'm reduced to. Pitiful. Look, just try to grow up a little quicker, would you? You know, being less obvious than a foghorn, maybe? Stop flashing your knack, or you definitely won't make it to the games, and your brother stays fucking dead. Ciao.
And he vanished. Poof. Gone. Not a sound, not a puff of smoke. How had he known all that? What the fuck was he? Some kind of flesh-eating fairy godfather? For some reason, Just Luke thought of the...
Nyancho.
I don't... Nyansho? The child-eating dragon back on the new year with fireworks and costumes in the color red. This being had no problem with the color red, so probably not.
We're pausing for art.
God.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Look at
Tasty
this.
art.
I can't fit the whole thing in the damn image. Oh,
It is so
there
good.
it goes. Got it.
Aspect of it is so good.
Thought of doing
Yeah,
it.
just
It's
shadows.
brilliant.
Look at
It is
him.
so good.
Look at him with his shitty little white man bun.
I know. God, he's so gross.
I just gotta say
Get
too. Panda was saying earlier, big white man energy for real. For
Mhm.
real though.
Mm-hmm.
You know he leaned into it on purpose
Oh,
to
for
make
sure.
Luke feel
for
inferior.
sure.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. It was for funsies.
Bastard.
I heard someone sounded like they were vomiting almost during that scene. Are you all you good?
You were good.
Yes,
We're good.
I was really amping it up. I was like really acting it up, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took 6
Just a
attempts
reminder,
to stop
gore.
looking like Matt Mercer. That's so funny. I love you. Panda.
Listen, the
I'm
idea
sorry,
of Matt
it's
Mercer
hilarious.
the idea of Matt Mercer playing Kane is terrifying to me.
It is, yes.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
do very
Yeah.
good.
It would work. It would work really well.
His like Slav squatting little like vague bird like shifting back and forth, perching on his feet, kind of like look
He
horrifying.
sure is human
Cursed.
shaped, isn't he?
What a gremlin. What a gremlin. I would watch it too. I would also watch Matt Mercer play Kane for a specific.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
The way he smiles, yes, it fits him actually. Now I can never stop imagining him as Matt Mercer.
I want to make this into like a movie, but it needs to be shot and done in the style of like a 1980s like coming of age fantasy.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Please.
Oh, for sure.
just like very specifically the Never-Ending Story Part 2, like something like that. You know,
Ooh.
Yes.
where it's like it almost feels kind of like a B movie, but not quite. And I don't know, it's got to be. And I want animatronics and Jim Henson in here.
My
Mhm.
gosh.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Excellent.
I
The
need
Jim
it.
Henson for sure.
We need the Jim Henson
Mhm.
creature shop.
Tackle away.
You
Give me
take Jim
some,
Henson
like, dark-
like giant puppets and then you make them
Yes.
fight. Oh, God.
Yes.
It'd be so
Oh,
dark.
fuck yeah,
This
give-
would be so
Like the
nasty
give me
to
some-
watch.
Like the
Yeah,
Minotaurs
give me some
from,
dark crystal.
Yeah, like some
Yeah.
dark crystal energy, or how they did the Minotaurs in the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe movies and stuff like that. Because those were
Fuck
puppets.
yeah.
Mhm.
Those were
Oh,
animatronic
yeah.
like,
Really?
puppet suits that they were like
Yes.
puppet suits that people wore, and it was really really. Good.
Wow.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just want to give more practical effects people and teams
Agreed.
work.
Yes.
Yeah. Labyrinth
Yes.
energy
God,
too.
please.
Absolutely.
Yes, I need some strong labyrinth energy. I want some
Yeah.
like
I
David
really do
Bowie-esque,
miss
like,
that
synth
80s
music,
practical
you know?
effect dark fantasy.
I
Mm-hmm.
want the synth music to be playing in the background for this, you know, like hardcore.
Yes. Yes.
I need the big hair and I need the.
But this scene specifically needs to be like modern day practical effects of like a gore fest suddenly. Like I want it to be like Lord of the Rings. We get in Peter Jackson very specifically just for this scene. Like
Mhm.
just to do this, and then the rest of it's like down in the underground. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, just cut back to like fun fantasy stuff, and then we get to the
Yes.
gladiator battle, and it's right back to Peter Jackson gore fest, and horror is happening, and then later it's like, oh, whoa, whoa, find something new in the underground. Like just right back to the synth music.
Yes.
Like it's fine, everything's fine. And Hester also needs to be one of those giant like half puppets, half costume. things,
Oh
obviously.
gosh.
Oh, for
yes.
sure.
Yes.
Like
He'd
the
be
Ghost of
huge.
Christmas Future from the Scrooge, like from the Muppets Christmas Carol. He needs to be
He's
like the
bigger than
Yes.
Ludo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of bold things, why don't we go to that? I suggest
Yeah.
why don't we go to
Yeah.
that scene in which a butcher goes head to toe? I mean,
Yes.
not head
That
to
was
toe, toe to toe.
exactly that was exactly the scene that I wanted to do next, Flamia. Now you're in
Fuck
my
yeah.
head. You're
Fuck
in my
yeah.
head.
Okay, where are we
That's-
Oh
starting?
god, they're
I
merging.
do want all the art shown, even if we don't read those scenes.
Oh no,
It's
we
Yeah,
absolutely will show
so
everything. I
good.
have all of
Yeah.
the pieces.
It's fantastic.
Absolutely.
It's actually in the next chapter near the end of it, so we'll have 2 pictures to show for that when it shows
It's
up.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Could start at one
The
hell of
butcher
a
shows
wagon.
up at a bar to pick up some people who are waiting to get a ride to the games.
So what chapter 4?
John Luke gets some good advice from a very kind bartender named Bart.
Bort.
Yep.
Bart.
Bert.
Hey, Bart.
All right. So yeah,
Good
just tell me the line we're starting on so I can. Pull it
I
up
mean,
for
we could
everybody.
start close to the art, so we could start like that's
Okay,
one
how
hell of a
about we get
wagon,
to-
and then
Yeah,
Or-
we get up to that. That's one hell of a wagon. And then we show that, and then we can read the rest of it, because that's when we get to the guy causing trouble for Collins here.
Heck yeah.
Not the most interesting of Genesis, but he's still a menace.
That's right.
Do we want to skip the description of him though, because it's right? We could
Yeah, we could
probably
read the
start at the
description
butcher Luke
Yeah,
guessed.
it's just a couple lines
Yeah.
above.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
This
It's like
guy
the
was
door
right.
creaked open, maybe.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Door creaked open. Where's that at?
That would be
Right above.
There it is.
yes.
Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Mhm.
Let me zoom in. Yeah.
All right. The door creaked open, sending the bars of daylight that leaked through across the floor, and in its bright opening stood a man. A man who sure looked human to Luke. He applied his knack, reaching into his talent, and yes, this man was human. Weird, though. Some strange power flowed through him, a deep and grimy yellow, something foreign to him that provided Luke wasn't sure what. This human looked ordinary, a white man, leaning into middle-aged, slightly balding, bearded, just bland. Luke had seen thousands of men just like this. The man looked around the room, smiling, his light gray-blue eyes dancing from fighter to fighter. I see, he said. Oh, my bad,
You're fine. I see.
he said.
Well, this is a pretty muck of a mess, isn't it? All right, you people best get moving.
The guy was Irish? Another Earthling? The man wasn't even that tall, but the quiet, careful way everyone moved past him was sobering. Those who seemed unsure followed their wiser peers, side-eyeing this Irishman, moving their hands to them, or keeping their hands to themselves. Luke wanted to slip out after them all and climb hidden onto whatever the wagon was, but no. No. That would be prey behavior. He held his head high and did not pull up his hood. This butcher watched him walk by, unreadable, thoughtful. He seemed so affable, a smile in his eyes and a good voice. He hummed lightly as Luke walked by, some tune Luke did not know. Through the door, out. So far, so good. Well, that was one hell of a wagon.
I'm showing art.
Yay.
I love the shaping of those horses.
It's so good.
Horse-like creatures.
They're so.
Yes, whatever they
It
are.
literally looks like you took like taffy or meat and you twisted it and then bented that into a shape after it was like
Yeah,
just
that's
shaped.
kind of it. Yeah, like they don't need to
Like
be fed or
you
watered
tangled a
or
bunch of
anything.
thread in it.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, Trin, question, Trin. What's with the horror horses in all of your stories?
Yeah, Trin. Did a
The
horse hurt you?
horses.
Because I love horses and they can be terrifying as well
They
as
are
wonderful.
extremely terrifying. I gotta say this so far: the horror horses are already better than our horses because they have multiple fingers for their hooves.
Yes,
as
they
opposed to
do. They do not
just
have hooves.
one.
Look at them.
Yep, and
I
Oh,
gotta
no,
say,
the horses
I
have
grew up in the
thumbs.
country around a lot of horses. They are fantastic and I adore them. And sometimes they're
Yes.
scary as fuck. So
You know what, Panda? I'm glad that you drew some fucked up horses
Horse
and you
girl.
were excited to draw it. It shows.
yes,
It was excellent. I am so glad you drew that.
Inside every
was
horse
close.
girl is an artist waiting to draw some nightmarish fucked up creatures.
Yeah.
So
You're right.
Real.
it's because of your appreciation for our already like existing nightmare fucked up creatures. That are horses.
absolutely.
Yes.
And you
Weird
know,
ass
Mr.
creatures.
Mhm.
This deserves a little bit of soundboard.
Yes.
Yay!
Oh,
Horse
nice.
sounds.
That actually kind of
Excellent.
sounded like a nightmare horse. Not gonna lie. Yes, I see you, Panda.
All right, let's keep
All
scrolling.
right.
Are we continuing with this?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep,
because
there's
there's
another
like
piece of
another.
art, so yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Take it away,
Four
Scream.
things pulled it, gray and vaguely equine, but their long, arched necks bore rows of strange, ropey shapes that pulsed as if swallowing every second. Their eyes were solid red. Their teeth were long.
Whoa.
Their claws dug into the ground, muddy up to slim, horse-like ankles. You know what they was a cage?
Scrim.
A wide...
Alright,
Scrim.
is Scrim cutting out for you guys too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
this time, yeah.
Sorry. There was also like a really sharp noise. that
Yeah, I don't
came
know what
right
that
from the-
was.
That may have been me plugging my headphones back in. Are we good again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
I gotta stop fussing with the cord. My bad.
Yeah, I think it was your cord was coming halfway out, so it was like, oh, what if we
Yeah,
committed,
yeah.
like a giant bomb on everything for this? So.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're
It's
good.
okay.
Pull the pin.
Okay.
And what they pulled was a cage.
A wide, splintery wooden base, topped with curved bars. They'd stood around. It stood there, clawing at the sky.
No, it's still going. Shh, keep going.
Oh, with one way in or out. A narrow opening where one bone had been removed from its bore. No one had climbed in. Everyone was staring at it. The butcher, if that's who this was, moved to stand beside him, still smiling.
You don't get in. You don't go to the games.
He said mildly. The braver bullman snorted heavily, somehow steaming the hot air around his bone.
Who wants to be the bull guy?
Oh, I guess I can do it.
Yeah, do it, Flavia.
Let me see.
Snort.
So, bullshit.
Yeah, perfect.
Luke decided that probably wasn't meant to be a pun. The butcher smiled.
Oh, is it now?
Maybe these fools can ride in your cage.
Said the bull guy.
I am going to ride up a front with you. And if you try to fight me, then you will arrive at the games less useful to your master for lack of limbs.
A few would-be fighters moved back. Luke was no fool, and moved with them. What followed happened very fast. The butcher raised one hand and made a come-to-me motion, and the bull-headed guy did.
Fucking
Art.
the Matrix ass move here.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Go for
I
it.
love
Why am
Yeah.
I'm hearing like if you've ever seen the movie Snatch, because Brad Pitt plays an Irish guy who like basically a traveler, and he like fights bare knuckle boxing. Very strong energy for this kind of move. Like, oh, all right then, why don't we have at that? And like it's like one hit, and he would knock a guy down. Essentially, he was like, that's very much this energy of this whole scene for
Yep.
Collins in this, and I love that.
Yep. And speaking of Collins, here's my husband.
Here's that
Collins.
man. Look at that hot old man.
Look at that man.
I'm hearing the Boondock Saints theme song playing loudly in the background for this.
Fuck yeah.
He's so
Yes.
good.
He has
Literally.
such Sean Connery vibes. I love him.
He does. Hello?
That is
Oh.
excellent. Hello.
Perfect.
Quite at the same time.
Yes. I love it. It's such a good.
All right, we ready?
It's good. That's a good. That's a good butcher.
Yes.
Moment of war, a moment of humans pulled.
Ooh, no, Scram,
Nope.
it's even
Nope.
blinked.
Scrin, start it over.
Yeah,
Start
think-
over, sorry.
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
It's okay.
It might be my connect
Oh no,
because I was not messing with my cord this time.
Oh no.
Okay.
It's okay. You're coming through clear right now. So
Am I clear now? Okay.
Mhm.
I have to sit perfectly still. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a moment of gore, a moment of crushing, a moment of human limbs pulled free and bright red blood in the air. He blinked. It was all reversed. The bull guy was on the ground, moaning as he bled from ragged amputation into the hard-packed sand. So quick, impossibly quick. Luke fought the urge to go and help this fool, knowing he'd reveal his knack, sickened with the feeling of that life bleeding out when he dared to do nothing to stop it. The butcher rolled his shoulders and cracked his neck as if just getting warmed up.
into the cage or back into the tavern.
He said. Like a hand of ice clutched Luke's throat. He hadn't even seen the guy move. If this was just what chance did he have in the games? The butcher waited. No one moved. Don't be prey. Luke took a deep breath. He was terrified, but he'd spent much of his life terrified. Terrified of school, of bullies, of police. Terrified of what could happen to him someday, unloved as he knew he was. Don't be prey. He would not. Not anymore. Never again. To hell with this. In fact, Luke took a breath.
Fuck this.
He said, daring the word more boldly than he felt, his traitorous voice cracking, and climbed into the damn cage. The wood was awful. He was careful thereafter as he moved to the far side. The whole thing creaked and leaned as the others climbed aboard. It felt like being on a boat in choppy water, unreliable and tilting. Ook frowned and threaded one arm around the curving rib behind him, and his knack kicked in and verified, oh yes, this is bone, though he could not possibly imagine from what. It was almost as though this wagon was designed to toss people around. The butcher, if that was his name, threaded a thick, gruesome chain between the ribs, locking them all in. Humming, he hopped into the driver's seat.
Go!
He said, and the horse things took off, leaving the foolish attacker on the sand, indecently torn open and very, very dead.
Hey.
Aye. Oh, Mr. Butcher. Oh.
Don't mess with the best, baby.
Your butcher is immaculate.
No!
Absolutely.
I
That's
thoroughly
great.
enjoyed Dennis Collins a lot.
So
He's
do we
good.
all.
Mhm.
Ah.
And he's so
Anyway.
good in this too. Like, I don't know, the whole portrayal of
Yes.
Collins throughout this whole thing is like
He's just delightful the
Yeah.
whole time.
he's
like,
a
He's
little
just
monstrous,
vibing.
but he is honestly just like he's in his lane. He is focused. He is
Moisturized.
flourishing. Yeah, he's doing great, and it makes him
Completely in his
so
lane.
wonderful.
Mr.
Like,
M,
And he
Mr.
even gets an
MC.
Arthur to play with. He's having a great time.
but he's not heartless.
no, he
Which
gets
I
to
think
be
is
the
very
MC.
clear.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't think he is in the show. I mean, after
Yeah,
all,
exactly.
he
Yeah,
was
no,
trying to warn
absolutely
those
not.
police officers, and
Yeah.
he killed them anyway. But
He did, but he gave them plenty of time to
Yep.
get a move on with it. It was just quite
Yep.
unfortunate that he happened to be my size.
Mhm.
His mercy might be different to the average person's, but that doesn't make it less existent.
Yeah,
Exactly.
He really only gives you a couple chances, and then he does not hesitate. So
And that's only if he doesn't consider you a challenge, mind
and
you.
he's quite good at his job. All right, yeah. So
Mhm,
he's having a wonderful time, and I don't.
Who
care.
doesn't love a man dedicated to his work?
You're so
Right?
right. You're so right.
Wait a minute.
He
I mean, the
pours
butcher
his
eventually-
blood. Well, he pours blood, sweat, and tears into his work. It may not be his, but he.
Yikes! Thanks.
Wait, you guys, do you guys hear that?
And I mean, it,
What are we
it did
hearing?
say it. What?
I can't hear it. The music.
The music.
Stop!
Oh my god.
Shut the fuck
Yes.
up! Oh my
Why
god!
would you do this to people? Why would you make that choice?
Charlie, I'm gonna
Because
get
it-
you.
Because it lives in me, in my soul. Every time I have to remember him and my sweet baby boy, I think of that one line. And
Hey,
it just,
this show has done that. How many of us have, when we succeeded at something, gone, yes, Arthur, in our heads, or maybe out loud?
Absolutely.
yes, I
Yes.
agree. And this is his piano string. Also, I'm so sorry.
Yes, you are correct.
No, my mind
Are
is
you-
50% memes, 50% cane lines, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Uh,
And a trash you,
Hey,
my dog.
what scene do we want to do next?
Um,
Right,
Let's
next
look
one.
at this
Next.
gorgeous art real quick, and then we should maybe do the scene with the Minotaur and
Ooh.
Luke's fight. Perhaps.
oh wait, what?
Ooh, we're
when
just
is
going right
that?
there.
What chapter is that?
I will find it.
But also, I pulled up the art of the arena
the
here.
arena.
It is 8.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, I
God,
have a
it's
little
8.
scene in 7 I would like to do. So
Look at this
Ooh,
dark
let's go.
crystal meets
Let's
Dune.
absolutely do
Look
it.
at the
Where do you want to
arena
go in
here.
7?
I don't, hold on, we're looking at the arena.
Yeah, it's like the
Beautiful.
Dark Crystal meets Dune,
Mm-hmm.
specifically the David Lynch Dune, the crazy
Mm-hmm.
one with
It
the
looks
silver under.
so organic and nasty. It kind of looks like a broken bottle, but then at the same
Yes.
time, the two like rising towers have like this pincer
Yes,
look that
it
just
looks like
Yup.
this looks
a
like a
Sarlacc
beetle
pit.
close up. It's really gross.
Yes.
It looks like a broken bottle grew teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you guys ever
It did.
like get into
Hashtag
the zoomed in
Haster's not all
pictures
right.
of beetles, like this is some of the
Yes.
things that you will see.
Mhm.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Aster is absolutely not having a good time.
No,
He's not.
No.
Poor
no, he's
baby.
not.
He didn't even make it pretty. I mean,
I mean, it's kind of pretty.
It's pretty
Yeah.
from a certain perspective of pretty. Also, oh yeah, there's the teensy
It's pretty
for
in, like, an
reference. There's the
emo way.
teensy tiny
Yeah.
wagon,
Yeah, there's the wagon.
teensy wagon.
But yeah, it's not it's not Carcosa pretty. You know.
Hey,
No.
welcome, Necro. This art
it's all
is
jagged,
What
kind of
up?
like how he's feeling.
this gorgeous art is done by AK Panda Trash, who's here in chat.
Trash Panda.
Oh.
Panda
Yep.
Trash. It's fine.
Yes, that's right. Trash Panda.
Panda, we have like almost the same art signature, and I don't know how to feel about it. I just need you to know.
Yeah, work on that. You guys should fight for dominance over it.
I'm gonna lose.
On camera. On camera. But
Go into the arena.
yes, go into the arena.
Yes.
Oh no.
Where we starting at?
I
We're
kind
gonna
of
go with the
like.
art, though.
So in 7, there's the section after the brawl when like Arthur figures out it's like that Parker,
Mhm.
and it gets all emotional.
Yeah, we can do that.
You
for
guys
sure.
like that one?
I love
Oh
that
shoot!
one.
Never mind. Hold on.
More
I'm
art.
pausing my scroll because right underneath it is
Just
the
more
inside of the
art, yeah.
wagon.
Yes,
Mhm.
and God,
Yes.
I love that Minotaur.
It's good.
Yes.
I mean, I hate that
Yes.
Minotaur, but I also love the way that Minotaur looks.
Keep an eye on that
Mhm.
ham. That ham will
He's-
return later.
Foreshadowing is a literary device, which
No way.
Yep.
Am I on the wrong chapter?
No, it's right underneath the arena. It just shows
Yeah,
the
we're
art of
just-
the wagon, so we're showing off
we're
art.
just looking at the art right now, so don't
Yep.
don't worry.
Oh,
about
is there a separate? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if I would
also-
if I were you, I would do the entire work so you can just scroll down along with
Yeah,
Anna here, so-
we're kind of going in order.
Yep.
Yeah, but we're kind of going in
Yep.
order.
And also, Anna, don't scroll too fast because in chapter 6 there's another illustration.
Oh yeah,
And it's
I'm gonna.
really cool.
All right, I'm scrolling. I'm so sorry to everyone about
Look-
scrolling. Yes,
at this
there's our
photo.
man.
There's a man.
There's our
Capture-
fucking man.
Way to capture the look of a man who is not meant to be fucked with. And
with.
it's like,
Yep.
Ooh,
Real-
Mr.
real,
Arthur.
Oh, Mr. R. Actually, hang on.
Do not pull up the audio. I swear.
Arthur. Oh,
and I will leave my tie on.
On.
The way Jasper read that.
Shiva is a genius for doing that.
So
Yes.
funny. Okay, we're not talking about surrogate. We're talking about this art. Bring it
But-
back.
Man, really strong, like, Strider in the bar in Lord of the Rings energy here with that, like, overshadowed look and handsome face, but also kind of, like, scary. So,
Not to mention the
Mhm.
stitched clothing.
Yes.
That fucked up pinky.
That
looks
pinky's
amazing.
so good. Like some people
It
don't
is
commit hard enough on the
excellent.
pinky, but that's really good.
Right?
It needs
It
to
is
always
so
be
fucked
grosser.
up.
It has to be grosser. It is chomped flesh with living wood digging its little like vines and roots into
Yeah.
like the veins of your finger. Gotta
Mhm.
get
It's
nasty.
so fun
with
and
it.
gross.
Gotta get nasty.
Yep.
Oh, this is so good. Okay, we would chomp on this art all day, but we have to keep going.
Scrolling
There's
down
more
to
art, and I
7
want
with-
everybody to see all of it.
The training is a really great section as well.
Well, we're
so-
doing part from the training, so this is
Yes, that's what
this
we're
is
going
from
to
the
next, yeah.
brawl,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
the art from the brawl, which again has that magic dripping.
That watercolor running. Yes.
Oh,
It's
it.
so good.
this is so spooky.
What is that?
Also,
Oh.
I want to say, Panda, you do like the little figurines that you do, like here, like the distant people where that's not quite stick figures, they're slightly more detailed. My grandfather draws like that for big panoramic scenes, and it's like it was very
cool.
nostalgic to see, just kind of like look at that because I remember he used to do doodles like that all the time.
it
for
has
me.
the look, like the little people has the look of like the figures that would be drawn on pottery. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Greek.
Yes.
It's very Greek.
Yes. It's very
It's
cool.
Yeah,
so good.
absolutely.
And then the very
Yeah.
uncomfortable twisting of the tentacles is
Yeah.
amazing.
He's
It's
not
almost
okay.
like
Master's
yeah, it's
fun.
almost like Esther's in pain here. And yeah,
Okay,
and I mean, look at my other
Not to
husband right here.
mention, you know, he called them up to brawl in the middle of the night, like well, as Flamia put it earlier, like trying to turn on the TV because you've got insomnia. That is
Yeah.
what happened here.
Yeah.
He wasn't even
I'm so
watching
tired
closely.
of the
Just
shopping channel. Bring out the men.
please distract me. That's it. That's literally it.
Yes, good. Well, you succeeded with the pottery attempt because it looks just like
Mhm.
that. It's
Mm-hmm.
So good.
so fantastic.
Sorry.
Poor Luke in the center there.
Oh,
I'm getting.
he's just
fucked
a
up.
baby.
It's just a baby. Okay, we're
It's okay. I'll
scrolling.
push all of this down. It'll be fine.
Scrolling,
we're-
scrolling,
We're
scrolling.
going a little bit underneath that to he woke up
Mhm.
in his bunk.
Yes, perfect.
Charlie,
I'll be
you
in my
speak
bunk.
really quietly for Luke, so you're probably going to need to turn yourself up a little bit.
Oh yeah, sure, no worries.
Cool.
Okay.
So we're starting. He woke up.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. He woke up in his bunk. Roaring, boasting, cheering voices floated around him, thick like water. Everyone was very pleased with the brawl, evidently. There were a lot of, and then I fucking gutted him, and the like. Luke struggled to remember how he'd gotten back in here.
Ah,
Said Arthur Lester, as if someone had told him Luke was awake and stood to face it. Hard to figure out that Arthur was how he'd gotten back.
Hi.
Luke said quietly.
What happened?
Arthur sighed.
proof you shouldn't be here.
Luke rolled toward him. His head hurt. He could fix that. It was annoying.
I have to.
What is it you're trying to get out of this?
Arthur said, suddenly intense, his volume low but his teeth bared.
What the fuck? You're a child. Nothing you need could be worth your life.
My brother's life is. Scrim?
Scream.
Hello?
Scream. There you are.
Hello?
There
yeah,
you
now
are.
we hear you.
Hi. Said Luke.
And I'm going to persist until I can get that wish to bring him back from the dead.
Arthur stared, though quite, and still not quite right,
Fuck.
he said.
Your brother wouldn't want you to die like this.
Ooh. Scrim.
Ooh,
Yeah, I
Scrim,
can't.
start that over.
Oh.
Does anybody know how to pronounce that word? I don't know how to say it.
Frisian.
Frisian. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Am I audible again?
Yes.
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 Anger through Luke. If a secondary citizen enabled him to fight it,
You don't know my brother.
he said.
If things were reversed, he'd be here, fighting to save me instead.
Arthur continued staring. His brow knit.
Hold on, I got lost on the... I had to zoom back in, my bad.
You're on the your
Okay.
Chinese.
No worries.
Oh yeah, I was actually finding the physical part.
My favorite question that he asked in this. Because you know this was probably just the most awkward question to be like to hear the one-sided conversation that's obviously happening here just makes it so funny and such a standout from like Luke's position. It's just
I would
great.
pay money to know what John says throughout this whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Jesus.
So good.
All right, you're Chinese.
See,
Yes.
said.
Born in the United States, though.
They turned away.
You can't just say that. Familiar because of his ethnicity. You can't just say that.
What the hell? Arthur turned back.
I'll prove it. What's your last name?
Yang.
Said Luke. Arthur went dead white. It was like all the blood drained into a pool in his belly. Calmly, he sat on his bunk, out of sight. Okay,
Why does that matter?
said Luke.
What was your brother's name?
Said Arthur in a strange tone. Slow.
Peter. Well, Parker. Peter's his real name, but he goes by our fathers.
Arthur made the strangest sound Luke ever heard. Running on his own in the dream.
Oh, Scram.
Yeah,
Oh
Scrim.
gosh.
Alas, alas.
I think I have to take over. Oh God,
I hate
It's
to say
okay,
it, but yeah,
Scrim.
you're breaking bad.
Yeah, it's like every 4 words are coming through.
my pen is going right now.
No.
Oh.
No.
Scrim.
Thank you for your
Thank you for your service, soldier.
My internet said bedtime.
Yeah,
Oh,
apparently. Jeez.
Rude.
Hmm.
all
How
right.
about Anna, since you haven't had as much to read yet? You want to take over?
Sure, I will. Yes, I will do. I can totally jump between both. Yeah, we can do this. Okay.
Yeah, you can do this. It'll be
I,
fun.
I can fucking do this.
It's not that
Yes,
hard.
everyone, salute the soldier.
Saluting.
Salute.
F's in chat.
Getting out on the floor, do this for me.
F's in chat for him.
This is what I get for going after the butcher.
All right.
I accidentally hit shift on that instead of 7.
What kind of weird? What kind of weird tentacle salute are you fucking doing, Charlie?
Well, hey, I mean,
Yo.
that's the king in yellow also saluting.
That's the king in yellow.
He's just
Hey,
being,
yo.
he's being extra fancy with it. So.
Pretty good.
I feel appreciated in this house.
Good. As you
Alright.
should.
Swallowing some water. Okay, here we go. I'll start at the beginning of that again. Arthur made the strangest sound Luke had ever heard, even running around on his own in the Dreamlands for all these months. It was pained, somehow hollow, like it was a gaping hole with no bottom that could never be filled. Pak Yang, he whispered. Yes, fine, you were right. Just, I need a minute. Oh, gods. And then, was Arthur crying? The man who'd been out there stabbing and biting people, crying? His breath was uneven, anyway, said Luke.
Are you alright?
Guess he never mentioned me, did he? Arthur said softly. The shock of coincidence would continue on, it seemed.
Wait, you're really his Arthur?
He said, throat tight.
How? That can't be.
His Arthur murmured. Yes, I used to be.
Oh, it's so gay.
Yeah, it's really gay. Oh, buddy.
That was
Where's
just
the
a
knife,
day.
will ya?
Oh, yeah. Luke
His
fell
Arthur.
silent. Too many questions clogged his brain and throat, and nothing could escape. Parker's Arthur. Why?
How did you get here?
And he couldn't help asking.
What's your wish?
Go to sleep, said Arthur. We'll talk later. He doesn't always demand fighting before breakfast, but after an interrupted night, you never know. Arthur felt silent, too. Luke lay back on his cot, hands over his face, and tried to go to sleep. Page break.
Baby.
The emotions
Clearly,
on that
Arthur.
one, I just had to.
Oh, it's so good. I love that whole scene. It's so good. It's one of my favorites. And it's just like, I mean,
God.
clearly Arthur's here to wish for Parker to come back as well,
I mean,
right?
obviously,
I
you know,
mean,
wouldn't he
That's his
be?
Arthur. That's Parker's Arthur. Clearly,
Arthur
we're
is
thinking
real.
the same thing, right?
Mhm.
I ship it.
I
I
ship
was
it.
so man. I was so happy.
butcher
to hear
shipped
that my
it.
brother.
You're
My
right.
brother had a partner, and I was like, ah, man, finally, right? So, like, you guys are married, right?
Allow. It's not allowing it to say gay. It was doing it before,
Gay.
and it's not allowing it now, and I'm mad. It just says thank you for your feedback, and then disappears.
Necro, I will say it for you,
Thank
Necro.
you.
There we go. Perfect. Thank you,
Oh,
Necro.
Twitch is homophobic.
It is, because you can
Yeah.
say all sorts of worse things and they get through on
Mhm.
Twitch just fine. But heaven
Yeah, but you can't
forbid.
say like simp.
No, heaven forbid.
Oh,
And I'm saying it purely as a title of visible thing you can't say on Twitch. So
Yes.
Twitch, don't ban us, please.
We're using it as an
There's a
example of what not
comprehensive
to
list
say.
of all the things you cannot say on Twitch.
Starting with
all right. The next one is violence.
We were
Poor-
talking
poor
about
child.
the
Yeah. So we are at
Yeah.
10, just so everyone
Yes.
knows. We are going to keep going, but if you need to leave, do what you need to do. I personally,
Content
just so
warning.
we all know, can't stay here all night because I have to get up early tomorrow because it's my birthday.
I also have
So-
to get up early.
Yeah, so we're going to at least
Birthday.
go another half an hour, but we need to buckle down and keep going.
Oh,
Mhm,
you guys are wonderful.
yes, let's go, let's
Thank
go,
you.
let's go.
All right, so where are we starting? I know there's violence to a child in the next chapter.
Yes.
Bad
10,
violence to a
10
child.
is,
Start-
yeah.
How about we start
We can do
with
it now. The monitor scene.
There he is, said the butcher. You
Okay.
and you.
Let me get to it. Hold on.
Luke did a double take.
Hold on. There we go.
I also really like it when the butcher and Arthur fight and they're
I
strapped on the
know. I
ground.
just scrolled past it and I was like, man, that's so.
It's such a short little bit, but it's so funny.
They're
I love
so
it.
A lot of
fucked up.
stuff
so
in there. Luke's like, what? I don't understand.
Oh, lad,
It's so
I'm in
very no
love.
homo.
Yep.
Oh, it's very homo for me. It's pro homo.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
went
it is.
too
I was.
far.
It's
Nobody
okay.
look.
Luke.
It's scrolling like a psychopath. Just give me a second. Okay.
Luke, do you see that man there? Mr. Dennis? Yes. Do nothing to be like that man, whatever you do.
That's it.
No matter what. I love you too!
You very. Slow down. You're almost there. A little down, I think.
Yes, you do need to draw the Butcher and Arthur sparring so bad, Panda.
Yes, I do.
It's gonna be so rough. He's probably ace, let's be honest.
Okay.
I
So
hope
we
so.
were
Oh,
at
yeah.
we were at Luke did a double take is where we're gonna start, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'm ready.
And yes, sorry, and Panda, yes, you do need to draw it, and also I need to draw
yes.
it. I didn't realize you were talking in the chat. Okay, let's go.
Yes, you both need to.
All right. Luke did a double take. Dennis had changed his clothes, trading out the Arthur torn items for untorn, but they were just as worn, just as threadbare. Luke could see Dennis's body hair through it.
Welcome to your awakening. Sorry.
Okay.
There he is.
Said the butcher.
You.
He squeezed Luke's arm.
And you.
Luke turned. Luke looked up, and up, and up. 3 ups, and it was the surviving bull-headed guy from the last Lonely Inn. Keep your eye on that ham. All right, there we go. I'm back.
I love the 3 ups line. That's so
I know
cute
it's so
and great.
it's so childlike. Ugh, kills
Train,
me.
you have such great little things that you do with your writing.
You do that to us before you maim a child.
Oh yeah, no, it's part of the
Fuck
it's part of the
ass.
like laying down a pillow before knocking us down onto them.
Yeah,
so.
it's mean. It's mean. Okay,
Nope.
so
I'm cruel, Miss.
growled the bovine fighter and stomped into the arena. Luke stared.
You've got this, lad. If you're smart,
Said Dennis.
use your knock. Let him understand. Let him underestimate you. Go on. I could fit my entire body into his thigh.
Luke blurted. Dennis shoved him into the arena. Not hard, no, but Luke stumbled and nearly fell. The duels had already started. Combatants spread out, paired off as ordered, and in the broad light of day were clearly showing off. Magic flew, sand flew, blood flew, bodies flew, the evident error of taking the hit when they should have dodged. And the king watched it all. His inescapable attention swept over Luke like a wave, heavy and suffocating and filling empty space. Luke shuddered, gasped, and squinted in the bright sunlight, looking for his foe. Where had the guy gone? You wouldn't think a big cow-headed man could just... The blow came from behind, and something in his spine snapped. Limp, paralyzed, unable to breathe, he flew forward 12 feet, crashed and badly rolled, feeling the horrifying buzz of nerve damage, and heard the heavy steps coming after him. That had been meant to kill him. He'd nearly died, right there, and terror twisted in his head, under his burning, scraped skin. He had seconds to use his knack, less than he ever had before. Fortunately, the bull-headed man clearly thought he'd won, and did not hurry as he brought his blade down. Faster, faster, faster. Yeah, there you go. Luke regained control of his body just in time to roll. The axe clipped his shoulder, and he cried out, gripping his arm as he flung himself upright. The bullman snorted, nostrils flaring and pupils big. Then he charged. It was too close to dodge, too fast to deflect. The left horn pierced directly through Luke's sternum, exploding in a red flower of pain, and slammed him into the arena wall. Why are you making me read this now? Why am I reading this now?
God.
Because it's great.
All right, I have to scroll small again, and it's going to disappear because it's mean to me.
Jesus.
Here I am re-scrolling. There we go.
This art.
Yeah, this
I
the
just-
art is perfect. And yeah, this bull guy, I don't feel bad for him. I mean,
Yeah, what a
he
douche.
wouldn't take on Dennis because he knew he might lose.
Yeah,
but
but he's like,
child,
but this
sure,
child,
he's
yeah.
happy to do that.
Yeah, he'll
I'm
destroy a
afraid of
child. Why
the
not?
Motherfucker.
Yeah,
maybe
Oh,
Dennis will like
bullies are
me.
the same. I don't care the species.
classic
Yeah.
with the
Fucking
horn.
cow.
The horn coming up off the background. It's good. Super good.
Reminds me, I don't know if anyone else has ever watched Dragon Ball Z, but it's like that scene when Frieza killed, like it was like
Yes.
Oh,
Krillin.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he just kind of was like, ride him, cowboy. And he was just like flinging him around up and down
Yep.
on there. Yeah, I
Ugh.
saw that when I was like 10 years old. That kind of affected my brain chemistry a little
Oh,
bit.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I rang in the year 2000 with that scene, watching it
Oh.
on TV.
That was not a show for kids.
No, but it also kind of was.
It kind of was. The world
Yeah, I
is
mean, but-
not fun, and just showing
Japan
the
just-
found family, and if you keep fighting, and
Yeah.
that there's hope, and it kind of was.
Japan, I mean,
I
he
was gonna
came
say,
back.
have you seen a children's show
First time.
recently? Because they're
Ugh.
really dark.
Yeah,
Yeah, actually
kids
true.
are supposed to have dark fiction in their life. It's how they prepare themselves for
It
things.
is. It really
Man.
is. Yeah.
If y'all haven't seen
Can't always
Centaur
be-
World,
It can't. Oh,
that
right?
one will get
It
you.
can't all be. can't all be
Don't get me
friggin'
started.
Peppa
Don't
Pig.
get me started.
Oh yeah.
I'd rather have kids get traumatized watching Krillin get speared on a horn in a very weirdly almost sexual way, and then Peppa Pig
Ugh.
like any day.
Yeah. Yeah.
True that. And you know, another thing that this art reminds me of is Junji Ito.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
With the facial
yes,
expression.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Very much so.
yeah, this is heart wrenching. Okay, I'm scrolling past it.
Yes, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I gotta zoom back
He's
in.
fine.
Hold on,
He's
I
gonna
have
be
to play
fine.
this
You're
super fun
fine.
game. Why would you do this to me? It keeps changing. Okay, there we go. Sorry, everyone, about the crazy scrolling. Everything is fine. All right.
Agony.
I really have to read the rest of this? Okay.
Yes.
Agony. This was agony. He couldn't breathe. He couldn't swallow the blood filling his mouth. He couldn't do anything but burn. The bullman pulled free, threw him to the ground with a toss of his head, studied him, then turned to go, unhurried. It was an emergency. It wasn't just knack time, but true talent. Because he couldn't afford to just fix the rift, but he had to detoxify, had to clean the inside of himself from the spill of other inside of himself as his organs tore. Panic made him feel slow and stupid. He choked on blood. The bullman walked around fighting pairs. He ignored the dead bodies, avoided stray blasts, and was 6 feet away from the exit when Luke got back to his feet. Luke, healed, terrified, and furious for it, ran, leaped, threw his arms around the bullman's neck from behind, and stabbed. Ah! He
Lovely.
stabbed directly into the center of that throat, directly into the voice box, scraping the spine behind it, and then let go. The bullman pulled the knife out, but the damage was done. He gripped his throat, staggering toward Luke, one hand failing to staunch his life's blood, the other reaching. Luke backed away, eyes huge. The bullman staggered, fell to his knees, fell on his face, and died. Luke saw the life leave him and had to throw up. He'd seen dead things, even dead people. He'd never, ever made one dead himself. Letting it happen flew against every instinct he had. Muted by all the sounds and spells and violence, Luke sobbed, hugged himself, and ran past all the beings in need of healing toward the exit gate.
He's such a good character.
He's so baby.
He's such a good character. One of those moments of like the fact that he's still running around, he feels the pull and the want and the need to want to help other people at the same time.
Yeah.
Very much.
It's so he's so good. My
Oh,
sweet baby boy.
Yeah.
Trin, how
my
did you do
sweet
this to him?
baby.
And
All
also
right.
with Trin, thank you for doing this to him.
Absolutely.
All right, we got to keep rolling. Are we
Yes.
doing
And-
the first meeting with the
Is
king?
more
'Cause,
art-
Yes,
like,
yes, I was just
Yes,
gonna say, we
yes.
have to
That
do the
that
meeting with
is one of my favorites of the whole that particular artwork.
I also love that little bit where Human and the Butcher are hanging out, and he's like, "You're a bit fucked up, though, aren't you?"
yeah, we can actually. Where
I'm
should
not
we start?
fucked up. I just didn't like it. Yeah, most people don't.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay,
Oh.
where are we starting? Because I don't want to make these scenes too long. is the
Yeah, no,
problem.
I'd
we're
say chapter
I
10.
just wanted to read that one itty bitty bit because I just really like that little exchange there. Just that highlight that I just did. Where he's like, "Well, you're a bit fucked up, though, aren't you?" How about we get to the? Do you find it beautiful, human?
Yeah.
Yep.
I got to stairs. 1
It's just before the
second.
art.
No, I'm
So
going.
So
I'm
it's
going.
like right above the art. We can start from there. Do you find it beautiful,
Mhm.
human? And I'll take that.
Yes, there we go. All right, got it. I found it. I'm trying to hide the art still. There we go.
so pretty.
It's so good. Okay, I'm gonna start.
Do you find it beautiful, human?
Said the king in yellow, appearing against one wall and teaching Luke that gods could hide their presence. Backlit by stained glass, the king loomed enormous, and his power and presence and attention came down on Luke like a bag of wet cement. And art! Okay, I cannot fit all this in one screen. I'm so sorry, it's not gonna
It's
happen.
so
Gorgeous art,
What is
folks.
that called? A triptych when they have it in like the
A
three
triptych.
panels?
Yeah.
Triptych. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
It is so gorgeous.
it's so
Okay.
good.
I'm gonna make a mess, but
so
hold on. I'm gonna
good.
get it up in an image in of the full screen over here, and I'm gonna change, and I'm gonna find it. There it is.
It's like
Here
I
we
love
go.
it.
There's the whole
I love it
thing.
so much. The tentacles.
It's just
the-
perfect.
It's
I'd put this in my-
fantastic.
I'd put this in my church.
Yes. I put this in my house.
There we go. We got the whole thing on there. Yeah, this is beautiful.
God.
This is probably one of
Heart-wrenchingly
the only
beautiful.
other I would want to actually print of
print
most
out.
Malevolent fan art I've seen.
It's so gorgeous. I would want to find a way to make this into stained glass. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And it would actually work.
Yes, it would.
It would. I mean,
I think
you
the
can see
tentacles
that-
would need some cuts, but otherwise, yeah.
it's so pretty.
I think it could be worked.
Mhm.
All
love
right.
it.
Oh,
And then I
gorgeous.
think we could probably just bump right down to chapter 10. And Luke fell to his knees.
yeah.
Here, let me switch it back to the live read. All right, there we go. Luke fell to his knees and for a long, awful moment forgot how to breathe. Chapter 10.
Breathe.
Luke told himself.
Breathe.
Because passing out here would be like exposing his throat to a wild dog. The king waited, silent, magnificent, and terrible. His face was hidden by a pearl-white mask, and he wore a cowl and cloak of bright and glorious yellow. The darkness of his hide, skin, tissue, whatever it was, ate the light gluttonously, obscuring detail, but the shape of him showed in shadow, in absence. He was twisted vines and tentacles, long voids and power, and though he had head, shoulders, arms, hands, faked with dark and dream-form limbs, he splayed out below like a chrysanthemum upside down, like fire turned even, with tentacles so huge that Luke could hide behind any one completely. There were golden eyes behind the holes in that mask, golden eyes masked, gleaming, maybe glaring. The great robed form did breathe, swelling out and in slowly, and somehow, for some reason, Luke found that comforting. A creature that breathed was alive. Creatures that were alive were something Luke understood. His knack made sure of that. He'd been asked a question. Luke swallowed, licked his dry lips, and tried 3 times to speak. The king in yellow waited. That wasn't reassuring.
I find it beautiful.
Luke managed.
Are you going to hurt me?
I don't know.
Said the king in yellow with horrifying honesty.
Why?
Said Luke in a tiny voice.
Why?
Said the king in yellow and moved toward him. Luke saw him coming, felt him coming, could no more get out of the way or fight than a fly could escape a storm. Haster reached with one of those ink-black tentacles and picked him up. Haster, you're so predictable. Okay.
Yes.
You can blame all those videos of like little tiny octopi reaching out and wanting to touch divers
he
gloves and everything.
He
This
grabbed.
is mine.
They're touchy.
I have
This is a
many
very
lips
dramatic
for a
moment.
reason.
What was that, Haster?
I have many lips for a reason.
Yeah,
That's right.
to hold all of my blorbos.
Yeah, that's right. All at once.
All right, here we go. Luke had a sudden vision of himself hefted like a doll, lifted up, 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 so far up, until he was at eye level with that mask, until he realized that the king's size had been obscured by distance. He trembled.
You are very afraid.
Observed the king in yellow with a voice like many waters.
Please don't hurt me.
Said Luke.
I see he was correct.
Said the king, whose gleaming fire eyes looking him up and down, seeing through him, peering under his very skin. Luke had no idea what that meant.
What? Who? About what?
You are very magical.
Said the king as if considering what to do with him, calmly, distantly, as if eating him or letting him go carried the same weight. Surely not that magical. This was the Dreamlands.
Loads of people have magic here.
Luke said, and realized he couldn't look away. Could not. Physically could not turn his head, could barely blink his eyes.
Not like you.
The king held him closer. Luke shook as badly as he had that year he'd gotten pneumonia.
Damn, this kid's just gone through the ringer his
He's
entire
been through
life.
it.
Hasn't
He's
he?
been through it!
He was a depression baby. That says,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
rough, man.
It's
He's-
like all the kids
he's
who
rough.
also more recently, went through
Yeah.
COVID. The
Yeah.
COVID babies. They're
Yeah.
also struggling
Yep,
now,
yep.
like, whoa.
Yeah,
Hey, it's the 20s. Sorry.
exactly.
All right.
Please don't hurt me.
So very afraid.
The king said as if to himself.
And yet you are here, in this place, by choice, where you have been hurt and will be hurt more.
But that's for my wish,
Luke protested.
not just for a lark.
The king tilted his head. The spokes of his crown cut the air, leaving after images.
And what is it that you wish?
Luke knew he wouldn't get that wish right now. He knew. He still had to try.
My brother, he's dead. I want him back.
He had to try.
Please.
The king sighed wearily.
Typical.
And he dropped him. Luke caught
Damn,
himself,
Matthew.
not falling too badly, and took a moment to fix the ankle he'd twisted.
You have such talent.
Said the king in yellow, and his voice rumbled through Luke's bones.
Forget the games. Serve me. I will keep you healthy and happy. I will provide for all your needs. All I ask is that you love me.
Okay, Jareth.
Trin, Trin. You fucking
Worship me.
love me, and
Love me. And I will
be your slave.
Slave. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Luke stared, gaping. A job offer? Something more? Definitely something more. But the way the king had said it, it wasn't right the way he'd said it. Distracted. Perfunctory. Luke had a choice, to respond to the words said or the way they'd been spoken. He swallowed. The trembling returned full force.
You have no power over me. Sorry. Thank you for the offer, sir. But I don't think you mean it.
There was a pause. Luke waited to be smashed. It seemed like the kind of thing a person would be smashed for.
You're right.
Said the king.
I don't.
That felt so weird. Unwanted by the god. It should be a relief. It wasn't.
Why?
Said Luke.
I want nothing.
The king said simply.
Everybody wants something.
Said Luke.
I cannot have the thing I want.
Said the king in yellow.
Therefore, naught else matters.
The same tone, the same distance, saying things as if by rote and expectation. Luke had heard this tone before, and it was always, always from someone who believed they were dying. So Luke looked. He couldn't help it. Second nature, an instinctive response to a living body in front of him whose owner was in distress. He looked, and two things came immediately clear. One, this body was not safe to look at for long. It was like peering into the sun to find its blazing heart. But two, something was badly, badly wrong. Luke caught one brief, blinding, smearing glimpse before he had to look away, and saw leaking, smudging, somehow, as if the god were being blended into the air like watercolors. Luke panted, head spinning, trying to understand what he'd seen so he could stop that unseen bleeding.
Would you heal your god, little human?
Rumbled the king. Luke wasn't sure what was wrong.
If I knew how.
He said softly.
It is beyond you.
Said the king. No, it wasn't.
I could try.
Said Luke. The tentacles rose, tightened.
Only one thing can heal me.
And they rolled and twisted, and a deep rumble climbed through Luke's feet and into his knees.
What?
Said Luke.
What happened to you?
I was violated.
The king whispered, and the rumble grew.
And taken from.
The king growled, and it climbed, and it rattled Luke's teeth, and he wanted to hide, and he wanted to cry, except this felt too much like the sphinxes he'd treated months ago, and Zakarian. The sphinxes had been violent because of the sentient burrs digging into their sides, aiming for magical organs. This was no different, and it was Luke's knack, and he had to try. Luke closed his eyes and focused. Page break. Are we continuing?
You guys.
I guess so.
I want to read a little bit more to the point where he and Haster kind of wrap up their conversation a little bit,
Yeah.
and he gives him it's a lot more, but it's like when he gives him the what he should do, like I guess to the end of this chapter technically. So
Okay.
and then I want to read my next part that I want to read after this is with John when he helps John and Arthur.
Oh, God, yeah, that's good. Okay, hold on.
that's
Let me
such a good
just
bit.
check something here. Oh, all of these are so stupid long. Okay, so here we go. Here. Can I make a compromise with us?
Yeah, we
Yes,
could skip
absolutely.
to that right now. Too.
No. We're making a compromise here.
Compromise, yes.
Tomorrow is only one fic.
Mm-hmm.
We see where I'm going here.
Oh.
Mine does not need to be read quite this much.
It's your birthday.
It's
your
but,
birthday.
Come
okay,
on.
Okay, but out of how many words is it? Yes.
Also, yeah, I would read that much of your fic tomorrow.
Please don't.
Same.
But I'm going to be at work, so.
I know. Okay, but out of like 31,000 words, like 20 of them are just straight porn. So we don't need to necessarily. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not.
That's the 20 I'm going to read.
No! So I'm okay if we want to spend like the first hour next time reading more of this so that we can wrap up a little bit tonight.
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
Okay. I know. Panda, stop it.
Golden gags, my beloved.
Stop. But I'm just saying we don't need to necessarily read that much porn on air. So is everyone cool with that?
When you issued that challenge, what, a month ago, when you're like, ooh, how much porn can we read on air? And I was like, I'll read all of it, Anna.
You're not
All
gonna
the porn.
be there.
Unflinchingly will I read it.
Listen,
do it.
Twitch has given us all good on that.
We
so.
could be in a hot tub right now showing cleavage and reading that out loud, and Twitch would be like, yeah, okay. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Exactly.
Sounds good. But still, I don't think we need to beat the meat that hard. For like 3 hours.
You did there.
For 3 hours. So if y'all want to like pick up on some more of this tomorrow, so we can all go to bed tonight, I'm okay with that.
definitely want to hit
All
more
right.
of the art tonight if we can, though, because
Yes,
it's
but let's
so
look at the rest
good.
of the art at the very least.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So we're just gonna art and then we'll pick back up on reading?
Perfect. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So where is the next art? Oh God.
Scroll
Actually,
down.
A little
and
further
wait.
down.
hands.
I can actually,
In
if we're
chapter
doing
11.
this, I'm gonna jump to images and I can just edit
Ooh.
and pull up new images. That's
Nice.
what
Good
we will
idea.
do. We will do it this way. I will make sure we've seen all the other ones so far. I believe we have. Okay. So
Yes.
which one is next?
I
The next
believe
one
it
is in
is
chapter 11.
Luke healing Arthur's hands.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes. Okay. I'm pulling it up right now. There it is.
Nice.
I love the way this looks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And it's simple and it still has that like triptych quality.
Yes.
Yes.
It has
Yeah,
such
you're-
like Avatar: The Legend of Aang,
Yeah.
The Last Airbender
Absolutely.
vibes.
With the water bending, like healing
Yep.
energy. It's very good.
Hell yeah.
Your hands are so good.
Yeah.
Panda.
Yeah. They're
It
so
shows.
good. I'm jealous because, I mean, hands are so goddamn hard, but some people are just naturally
are.
talented at them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they're
It's
so
insane.
expressive.
The things I would do to be able to animate like that scene, that studio, I think it's Studio Trigger, that does for Jujutsu Kaisen with that one guy whose curse specialty is like all the hands folding and floating and stuff like that. Like they do this amazing animation with just hand shapes and jutsu stuff looking. It's really
Mm-hmm.
I'd become a killer for hire if I was able to get the ability to draw hands that well. So. That's fine. I mean, there's very little that would if Elon Musk was my first target, I guess I would probably.
And we're
like,
right
can I
back
get,
to
like-
the mouth.
Yeah.
Feel free to pay me in potato chips. So
Yeah.
yes,
Oh,
but
God.
oh my gosh, it's so good.
Blue and
next
the
Yeah.
part-
drippies and the. It's good.
Speaking of, the
Absolutely.
next one is one of my favorites because it's my favorite
Yes.
picture of Luke in this, I think.
Oh, it's
Yes.
from
Ooh, let's see.
13.
Cute.
Mhm.
Oh yes.
Yes. There we are. There's a baby.
Come to me then. Waste your magic on me.
Yeah.
He's so
He
cute.
just
baby.
lets him do it. Like, Haster, what are you doing? You stupid
wanted
He's
to-
idiot
adopting him, of
squid.
course.
Idiot
He is
squid.
doing anything.
adopting him.
He's trying anything.
I love the
know.
way they drip up too. It's just so. These drips are
So-
so good.
Yes. It's a stylistic choice, but I absolutely love it's.
Mhm.
It really feels like the image is bleeding out of a fourth wall and drawing you into this world. It's so good.
Panda's
Look at
right.
that
This is
baby
worship, and that's why
face.
Haster's into it.
I want to just like hug
He's
him
so
and
soft
kiss.
and gentle.
And it's
Yeah,
not
what-
everyone can draw children is the thing.
No,
Nope.
it's like yeah. This is and he's not even like he's in that awkward child phase. He's kind of
Yep.
a preteen.
He
and
is
that's even harder
he's
to
a
draw.
malnourished, underfed 13-year-old.
And
Like
you
that's
did
what he
so
would look
good.
like.
Baby
He's
boy.
probably eating better in the games
Oh,
than
yeah.
he has his whole life.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But the holding up of the tentacle, I just, ugh.
He's trying
And every
so
night,
hard.
Pastor said the same thing.
Yep.
Waste your magic on me, and let us see if there is anything of a cure to this slow and painful end. It'll most likely kill you in the morning.
Yep. Yep.
Aw.
Ooh.
All right.
Aw.
Which one was next?
The next one is the accidental
Awesome.
birth of John.
Yes.
happens.
Okay,
Ooh,
it's
yes.
here. Here we
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
We're not show. Okay, but I don't. Do we want to show the last couple arts because we said we weren't going to do the end?
You know, let's do it because without explanation, you know, and also I want the art scene. It's so good.
Yes. We'll show all
Yes.
the art, but then you're going to want even more to know the context for the art.
Okay, fair
Exactly.
enough. This is good. This is so good. This body
I
arch and the
love
scribbles and the.
Yes. And
And the
eyes,
hands.
and the threes again. That dive that he does, that goes the wake of bubbles that Arthur leaves behind as he falls into the water that then Luke dives into.
And he's in the negative space of like, ugh,
Yes.
come on.
Yes, it's so
Yes.
good. You feel it.
Yeah.
You do.
I'm frothing. I love this.
God, I want to have the money to commission Panda
And it's like
more
John's
art.
color. Like everyone has their own color. This
Yes.
fucking
Yes.
ends me.
It's so
Speaking of, do you want John's picture next? I believe is in
yes,
order.
John's
Yes,
picture.
yes, 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 yes. Hold on, I'm changing Changing it.
from
I'm
chapter
changing.
15.
Where is he? Where is that scribbly
Chapter
little
15,
man?
middle
I got
of
it.
it.
I got it. I have them all saved. I just have to pull them up.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You ruined all of this niceness.
Look at this. Look at this
Look at this.
creature.
Look at
Look at
him.
the blorbo, a
Creature.
scrungle.
Creature.
Can I have a cigarette?
Oh gosh.
God.
Don't be like that. Not here.
John,
Don't, please.
John, you can't
Please.
smoke. You just got lungs. Don't tell me what to do, Arthur.
I already sound like I've smoked 5 packs of cigarettes a day.
Being with you makes me sound like a chain smoker regardless.
Oh, stop. Oh my god. All right. Look
Like
at
that
the art,
make
damn
her
it.
all-
said, it reminds
So
me of
good.
that post
And
someone wrote
I
where they
just
said
love
that
the fact that he's sort
season
of the
1, episode
kind of
1,
the-
John was like, hey, how's it going, handsome? And now he's
oh
like,
my gosh. Yes.
Jesus Christ, Arthur.
I love the contrast. Like his tentacles are nowhere near as put together as Hasper's, and it's like
He's all rough
yeah.
and scrungly looking. I
Yep,
love
he's
him.
very scrungly.
He's so scrungle.
Love my scrungle boy.
Like, Luke,
Speaking
why
of
did you give him
negative-
that many eyes?
He
Stop.
didn't need to. He just
needs-
kind of threw flesh at
Let's be
John and
honest.
kind of made it stick.
Yeah, he's like, here's some flesh. Take what you want. And he's like, I want a million
He's
eyes.
like, we'll fit it all together. This is where it sticks, and that's where it stays.
I'm used to having this many eyes and about this many tentacles, so I think this works.
Very
Yes.
scrungly.
He's so
John, you
big.
need
I mean-
shoulders. You need shoulders as well, remember? Oh, yeah. I guess I'll have some shoulders and a neck. I suppose.
Whatever.
Whatever. Bones.
And do you need that many limbs? Yes, to hug Arthur better.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Next one
we
is
gotta keep going.
Oscar.
The best
hug.
boy. The best boy.
Best
Here we
boy,
go.
best boy.
This
Here's
one,
the
which
bands.
is going to birth a fic of its own, because that's a whole side story I didn't get to go into.
Oh my god, Trin. How
I'm
are you
so
like this?
excited for that, though.
Oh, this boy.
Oh,
sweet boy.
Oscar.
He looks so gentle.
It does.
The
Oh.
fact that Harlan shared that song "Oh Oscar" as a response, like in response
Yeah.
to like, I would just Harlan, I want words. Let's talk.
When I find you.
I'm also chewing the walls. We need the story. Here's the thing: Trin has like a book that's literally just lists on every page of different story ideas.
I
know.
do.
It's insane.
And
Working through them.
every time we talk, all of a sudden Trin will go, "Damn it!" And then like, well, I'm writing that one down, and I'm like, "You don't have to. No one's
Please
making
don't.
you do this."
Please don't
But also, I'm not gonna say no. When am I gonna say no to more Trin works? You
I
put
know,
me in a
right?
terrible position. How am I supposed to resist?
And I mean, we're already planning a sequel to that cowboy fic, so
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, to be fair, a lot of us got bit by the sequel bug.
Well,
Yep.
Yeah, the sequel bug is great.
And then finally, the last shot, the
Okay.
last part.
Hold on.
oh, there's one, two,
No, there's
more.
three more. There's three
There's
more.
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 Hold
Two
on.
more.
Hold
Yeah.
on. I'm
Yeah, there are.
changing art. Give me a moment here.
I
And I
We are
suggest
on-
we don't show the third one because it is really spoilery
I
for the
agree.
third.
We
for the
don't show
final.
the third one.
We said
Aw.
we'd show. Well, this is saying
It's
everyone
so
else
good,
should look
though,
at them.
and
It
everybody
is
can
so
go,
good.
wait, I want to know how this happened. And
Nope.
yeah.
Nope. You've been outvoted, my dear, but everyone
Oh,
will go
okay.
see it. We've also
all
shown
right.
like 15 pieces of art already, so I think
True.
Yes.
Very
And
true.
we show it
We've been
tomorrow. We show it
very
tomorrow.
fair
Panda-
here.
Panda went absolutely ham here. Okay, so
Okay,
We are all very grateful.
so with
Yes.
these next two, we're not going to talk about what actually is happening because this is all like the
we're just
last
gonna
couple
talk
of.
about.
We're just going to
how
talk about
gorgeous
the
it
art.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. I'm pulling up this one.
No, we've never shown enough. I'll show more.
Yep.
Go onto your personal YouTube, like your personal Tumblr, and I'll show even more.
The energy on this, you can feel the
It's
action.
so good.
God.
There's
Go
something about this
God.
that's so like there's 3 colors in this entire thing. And it works, the lining, the shading, the shadow, the going outside of the box,
Yep.
like out of the frame.
Yes.
Frank Miller wishes, all right? Like
Oh, seriously.
So good.
Tarantino who? Tarantino who?
Never met
well,
him.
There is feet in this, so I mean, he would also approve. But
God,
my God.
this is the kind of stuff that my teachers would have killed for when I was in art school. This is like a perfect triangular composition. It's just
I mean, the Dutch
composition is
angle,
so
everything.
good.
It's just so good.
Yeah, the great utilization of Dutch angle and mysterious character here, man, he fine.
Oh, he fine though. All right,
He fit.
we're
Dad, the donkey
showing
dog.
one more. We are not showing the final,
No,
but we're showing this last one, and then
Which-
we're gonna wrap
This
it
one
up.
is fantastic.
man, talk about compositions.
We are
Like,
not talking about what's happening here.
no,
Nope.
the composition.
Just things
here,
are happening.
This
Things
one
are
is
happening.
so genius. That incorporation of the yellow sign, like, kills
Yeah.
me. It is brilliant.
It's so good.
Also, it's vaguely
God, it
heart
was.
shaped too. Like,
Yes.
it's so. This looks like it could have been an alternative cover for, like, Chambers's The King in Yellow book.
Yeah.
Yes.
yes.
Like something like 1940s, 1950s, like kind of like modernist art.
Mm-hmm.
How do you
with
do
its,
this
like-
with two colors? Two
Right?
colors.
It's
incredible.
Two
It's incredible.
colors.
with two colors. It's because it's with two colors that we're forced to like take in the simplicity and like the complexity at the same time.
Yes.
You can make guesses, but you should read it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's so good.
Honestly, Panda, this is like, you are an incredible artist. These are
Yes.
pieces that I would see in a
100%.
museum.
Yeah, for sure. Like this would be. This would
I mean,
definitely be
I would buy the graphic
in a
novel with
gallery.
this, like,
Yeah, this
would
without
be
even hesitating.
Yes, yes.
if this was a graphic novel, I would like. I don't know how much.
Somebody
I
needs
don't know
to-
how I would get the money, but you would get all of it. Like,
Yeah, Panda, if you could just redraw this entire thing as a graphic
As a
novel, cool,
graphic-
thanks.
it's an extremely stylized graphic novel. That'd be cool.
Hey, I'd be
I
happy
mean,
even with having
I'm
like
already-
a bound book.
I am already going to
these.
turn it into a bound book, so like that's
Ah.
already happening.
Ah.
Between
you
this
go.
today, we've had two stories that are like graphic novel them from the artist because
Yeah.
like Pika's also has
Yes.
like the anime
Yes.
energy.
Yes.
So it's like it
100%.
also would work
Yes.
as a comic. Like it's so
Yep.
ridiculous.
I would take pretty much all of the stories we've read as graphic novels and put them on my shelf and just be like, yeah.
Yeah,
people will be
it's just the
Absolutely.
art for
They're gonna be
these
like-
two lend it so well.
And I would go through the awkwardness of having to explain fandom and fan fiction and stuff to strangers who came in and be like, "Oh wow, what's this graphic novel on your shelf?" Well, let me tell you about a little podcast called.
Yep.
Well, some of these are. That's the lovely thing about AUs is that some of them are removed enough that you can kind of just
Oh,
read
yeah.
them and enjoy them.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mhm.
But like, you know, if everyone did read all of them, they'd be like, well, how come all of these characters are reoccurring in these fics and these bits of fiction you have? I'm like, well, shut up and read them. Just read them. And
I was gonna say, yeah, people understand alternate universes totally.
yeah. They'd be like, well, what
Absolutely.
is this? I'd be like, yeah, shut up. Just a lot of people are named Arthur and John, okay?
Just
Like,
don't worry about it. It's fine.
don't worry about it.
Don't think
Teacher,
too hard
like you
about
don't,
it.
like you don't eat meat only one way. There is multiple
This,
recipes.
you know, that's a
Like,
good
wow.
way to put it.
I'd
Yeah.
be like, wow, the King in Yellow Haster from the Lovecraft mythos is really showing up in a lot of these. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Imagine that.
Is in,
Yep.
Weird
I
about
mean,
it.
it is in my public. It is in my public domain. So yeah,
Yeah,
shut up.
exactly. Yeah.
It's
Yep.
fine. Shh, 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 shh,
Yeah, it's
shh,
fine.
shh, shh, shh.
It's so good. I
All of this
man,
is really good.
you know what, guys? Good job.
Mhm.
Good job, gang. Everyone,
job.
This was a
Very.
great. Trin, thank you. Panda, thank you. Pika, thank you. And oh my god, I am blinking on the last artist, the last writers.
Maddock,
Yes.
Maddie.
Thank you, Maddie.
Maddock,
Thank
yeah.
you. You're all
Absolutely astounding work.
just astounding.
Y'all, thank you for sacrificing sleep. You're wonderful.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
be
it's not even
repeating that
9
a
for
lot
me,
tomorrow.
so I'm good.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I can be there tomorrow, just FYI again. So, you
Mhm.
know.
You know what? I think that's fine. That's,
You know what, Trin? Just
that's
Trin,
fine.
do what I'm doing and just pre-record what you're gonna say and then give it
No.
to Anna. Yeah.
Don't
Yes.
do that either. I have to figure out how to play those on the stream, though. Oh God.
I think just play.
There you
We
go.
could always host
the
them
thing.
on blackmarketvoices.com and give a
We
link to
could.
go listen.
I will.
Yes.
That's
kill.
who.
Could do that, or I think you literally can if I just drop it in like the Discord. You can probably just play it there, and since you're screen sharing, the audio
Oh.
should play over.
That's a good thought.
Okay,
That would
we'll
work.
give that a try. I think I can also potentially add layers with media
Yeah.
But we'll mess with it.
Yeah, I would mess around with it beforehand.
I'll mess
so.
around with it. Anyway,
All right, listen.
I have
I'll be
switched
recording
us.
it tonight for you. So.
Oh, you
Yep.
monster.
Yes.
I have switched us again to our link tree. So again, we are Black Market Voices. We hope you enjoyed your evening with us reading these 2 wonderful fics. Tomorrow we will be back with another one. But until then,
A very
please check
special
us
one.
Until then, please check us out on social media. We got everyone known to man.
Yep. And tomorrow, be sure to come back for number 1, Anna's birthday.
Oh my god. He's trying to avoid
And
it again.
her fanfiction.
Yes.
Which is a
Yes.
fucking treat.
Exactly. And once again, sharing the Blood and Sand link tonight.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
For
We
those
will
who want to
go.
read
We
the
will
whole
start
thing.
tomorrow with a few more excerpts from that, just to really feel like
Sure.
we've completed, and then we will go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yep, we will.
But thank
All
you all
right.
again for joining us. We are gonna sign
Yes.
off because we are 42 minutes past time, and I
Yes.
would
And
like to
happy
go to
early
bed.
birthday.
Thank you.
Happy early birthday.
Oh my god, yeah, it's
Happy
not
early
too long.
birthday.
Yep.
All right. Good
Night,
night,
night, y'all.
everyone. I am ending stream
Good
here.
night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Black Market Voices
Bye.
out.
My gosh, that was